We just discussed that I would start, and when you did this, that completely threw me off.
I'm sorry. I was snapping into the start, and then I expected you to say your start.
Okay, I will not, for the third time I think this week, just pretend it didn't happen and restart the stream. So I will just carry on and do the thing I was planning to do before Tifa did that.
I'm sorry, I even stayed quiet. Oh, now I can't even do it anymore.
Thank you, and that still doesn't help. So, just pretend we're still moisturizing our hands because it's cold over here now. So, hello everybody. Ever since I made that wonderful but frankly underappreciated log joke, it's fine. It's fine. I will live with the shame and one day prove you all wrong. It doesn't matter. I've been on and off stream wrecking my brain to come up with better wordplay, better puns. And yesterday I think I thought of one that I want to share with you. Are you all ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, here we go. What do you call a family of gas station attendants in October if they also use heavy bronzer, the stuff that gives you a tan without getting sunlight?
What do you call a family of gas station?
A family of gas station attendants in October if they make heavy usage of bronzers, I think is the term for the skincare product.
That make heavy use of bronzers.
The setup just rolls off the tongue. I appreciate that. You ready?
Gaslighters?
No. But good one. No. Pumpkin.
Where does the bronzer come from?
Because usually that makes the skin look kind of orange-ish. Get it? Pumpkin, because it's October. It's like Halloween season. But pump, because gas station attendants pump gas.
Yeah, I get it.
Kin, because...
That went like far over my brain. So on this psycho.
That's too long of a
Dark
sentence for my pea brain.
Happy Sunday.
Yeah, I need to work on the delivery, right? I need to make it shorter.
It would have been better without the bronzer stuff. Like, it already would have worked without that.
Okay, fair enough. Heavy use of bronzer. This is suddenly a Pokemon stream. Hello Dark Lord, hello Honest Psycho. How are you doing? Happy Sunday, everybody. I will just sit here and take a sip of my coffee.
That was a good one. How's everyone's Sunday coming along, and is everyone ready to finally get some answers?
I worked on that pun too, by the way, in today's title. Just saying, before my track record is completely in the negative.
That was a good joke.
Yeah, it's fine. It's okay. Jack is going to get the UPS shorts to make the deliveries shorter. Do I also have to only turn right at corners? Because I think that's something, I don't know if that's a UPS exclusive thing, but a lot of delivery companies nowadays plan their routes so that the drivers only have to make right turns.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
It saves gas and delivery time.
Does it?
Yeah.
How does that save gas?
Because if you turn right into a street, that goes faster than crossing because you need to wait for traffic, or turning left, in which case you also need to wait for both sides of traffic. If you just go right, you just have to keep in mind that there's one lane.
How do you plan a route where you only go right? Like, that seems...
Ah no, that's why these people get paid the big bucks. And I sit here and make stupid jokes. Computers, yeah, exactly. You let them do the work for you, Tifa.
This is above my pay grade.
Yeah, I wouldn't even know, like...
I wouldn't even come up with this stuff.
If you told me to find a way to plan a route only involving right turns, I would spend a week probably figuring out from where to where you want to go. And then in Google Maps or whatever, just pinning every turn myself.
I'd be like, well, we'll be skipping out on these couple houses because the
Yeah.
only way to reach them is by going left. But, you know, we'll just say their packages get lost and take
I'll be
them
the
off.
customer service agent that has to call the clients. Go like, yeah, sorry, we can't deliver to you anymore. Why not? Because you would need to make a left turn, and we just don't do that anymore. Can you move to like get your packages?
Is our house...
Available from a right turn?
Our house is
Yes.
available from a right turn, but to
And a left
leave,
turn.
you need to take a left turn.
No, you just make more right turns.
But let's say I take a right turn. I'm in the street.
Yeah, then you go right again.
Okay, I could go right again.
Then you go right again. Then you go right again. Then you go right again. You go around the block.
Yeah, but that takes more gas.
In
Then-
our case, yes.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, but there will be more cases like that.
I think they wouldn't do it if it didn't work overall.
I mean, like I said, above my pay grade.
And somehow this is making only my left eye tear up. I think it's
Because
feeling...
it feels left out.
Yes, exactly. It's a bit late/early for allergies to kick in. Oh well.
Well, so be it. Is it itchy or just tearing up?
Just tearing up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because the worst thing is an itchy eyeball. I think we talked about that before.
I can imagine worse things than an itchy eyeball.
Like what? There isn't much
Two
worse.
itchy eyeballs.
Okay, yeah.
Beat you at your own game.
You do
Hello,
have a
Sabes.
point.
Happy Sunday. How are you doing?
Cheers.
Also, I have a question for all of you. Because Tifa said, no, it's a stupid idea. So, here's my thing. I thought I was smart for this game, and I grabbed this little booklet that we had laying around, and I took notes in it. Physical notes, which, because of the lighting, you cannot tell are there, but if I hold it like this, you can see them. You can't read them, but you can see that they're there. I can't read them myself.
Apparently.
See, now the good thing is that I wrote them down, so they exist. The bad thing is, because of my handwriting and because of them existing physically in front of us, when we need to look at them, what you see is this.
I don't really see a point.
And I told Tifa, hey, for the next game where we need to write things down in an orderly fashion and want to reference back to, why don't I make it like an overlay kind of thing so that it pops up on screen somewhere so that you can see what we can see? And Tifa was like, nah.
Yeah, because
I think
if
it's a good idea.
If it's longer, then you need to start scrolling. Then whenever you
Yes.
want to have a look at it or write something down, then you have to open the notepad, type it in, swap out of the game. Like, I think that's way more interruptive.
Done. Back. I just alt-tapped. You couldn't
and
tell
it
anything
brings-
happens because it doesn't. But
It brings you out much more. And then you need to put it on stream, then you need to like scroll through probably, you still need to look for it, then go back, then maybe you want to look at it again, then 2 seconds later you swap back into it.
I'm not sold yet. I think I will make a working prototype and then show it to you, and then we can still decide. I really think I'm striking gold here, even if you don't agree. Sometimes you need to show people what they want, even if they disagree. It's that famous, I want to say Harrison Ford quote, but Henry Ford. If
I
I'd
don't
asked
agree.
people what they wanted, they would have said faster horses. The guy who
Doesn't-
invented the car.
Doesn't ring a bell. But yeah, sure. I mean, I get what you mean, but I think it would be way more disruptive, and therefore this is better. And we don't use this that often. Well, now we do for this game.
Yeah, see? Exactly.
But it hasn't been a disruptor for the game yet. And
A
I-
disruption.
Disruptive,
Disruption.
disruption. You know what I'm saying. And if you would swap that, I think it would.
I'm not sold. I will make it. I will see it. I need to see it to believe it.
Well, go ahead.
Talking about seeing is believing. You can see that there's a banner, so it's time. Tifa believes she's got to do a recap. For potentially the last time.
I kind of hope so. I really need this end
wait,
now.
not potentially. Today we're gonna finish the game. The last time
Maybe.
Today we're gonna finish the game.
Maybe.
Team Jack is going to finish this game today.
There has to be a lot of bullshittery to not... I have the same goal, but then if there's gonna be like another 20 blocks that pop up, that's not happening. I'm putting a disclaimer in this because we've learned after the last 12-hour stream.
I don't care. It was 9 hours. Also, no, close to 10 hours. 9 after cutting out the breaks. Doesn't matter. The last time we were dumb enough to say something like this, we were here for 10 hours. We had fun, but you know, we had to keep going because we gave our award.
That's why I'm putting in the disclaimer.
I can sleep in tomorrow. I don't have a meeting until 9 a.m. I can subsist on less hours of sleep. You don't have to physically go to the office tomorrow. You know what I'm saying. So you can sleep in longer too. We're gonna finish this game today.
I mean, yes, I can sleep in longer because I also stay at home, but that's not the point. I'm putting in a disclaimer, but I am hoping...
I can go to work later too. See, Tifa, it's fate. It's fate.
I am hoping
the stars
to get to
are
the
aligning.
end. And if we are like really close, and it will still take a bit more...
We still have to read the gold files.
The gold files are not included.
We are going to finish the game today. Now, Tifa can't say anything else because look, it's time for the recap. Go.
The gold files are not necessarily included in finishing the game.
For me it is.
Anyway. My disclaimer counts. Recap time. The last time we played Virtue's Last Reward on My Favorite Letter is X might be today. We have actually all managed to get out after getting 9 points. We made our way outside of the building. Finally, thank you. All of us escaped just to find out that we are actually on probably not the moon, but on like Mars.
Allegedly, we are on Earth's moon. Allegedly.
We don't know exactly yet. Actually, yeah, Thingy already
It's been explained to us, but I don't believe anything until I have concrete proof.
Let's go with the moon. We found out we are actually at the moon. We are looking at Earth, which is blood red, and Tenmyuji started explaining how like 50 years ago 18 nukes went off. The planet basically went like still there, but basically most of humanity died because of it.
Okay, here's where I jump in because that's not what happened.
That kind of is what happened.
No.
It's the shortcut.
No.
It's the short version.
Roughly 50 years ago, somebody set up a test site in the Nevada desert. A few days later, Radical 6 got out and happened to almost destroy all of humanity. Almost all. The remaining, we're here for 10 minutes, I can't speak anymore.
It's the excitement of finishing.
The few surviving people came together and decided, okay, we need to get rid of this virus somehow. They didn't have a cure back then, but they figured, you know, viruses do really bad with like heat. So let's just fry the air in the planet. And they built these antimatter engine reactor thingies, 18 of them around the world, and decided to blow them all up at the same time.
I still think that was more of a unintended...
Killing almost everything on the planet, including plant life. But slowly but surely things got better, and there is still Earth, it's just that there is so much stuff in the air that if you now look at the planet, it's red instead of blue.
Which is because of all the dirt layers and smoke and everything in the air. There was a very scientific explanation for it, which Tenmyuji said really well, but don't ask me to repeat it.
Yeah, we're not chemistry people, sorry.
So basically that happened, then Tenmyuji was approached by Zero and asked to go to the moon. Which he agreed on, but only because Akane is there.
Yes, do you want to see Akane again? And Tenmyuji was like, heck yeah, I'll take my kid along.
Quark wasn't supposed to be there, but Tenmyuji wouldn't go without Quark, so basically Quark just tagged along, and that's why we have Quark.
Given the state of planet Earth, I would have not left my kid there either. Even if my decision meant I have to go do all of this stuff with my kid, because, yeah.
The chance of seeing him again is very small if you leave him behind on a different planet.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, they went there, they promised Zero not to tell anyone, so they didn't. Even Quark didn't. Quark knew as well, so very nice.
And then, out of the blue, or should we now say the red?
Kinda. Then, out of the red, we were like, oh, let's go back inside, because we have
There was something prompting that. As Tifa was confused about what was happening, while Tenmyuji was telling us things, Phi suddenly went, hey, I'm going to slide in your DMs, can we just have a private convo? I was like, yeah, sure, of course. So she did that. And then she told us, I solved the anagram. And we were like, what anagram? And she's like, the anagram. We were like, what anagram? She's like, the E.
The ninth
Memento
lion.
Mori, the 9th of Lion, 8 the sun. Means the man on the moon and the infinite time. Something like that.
Has infinite time, I believe.
It already went over my head. And then Sigma was like, I
still don't know what it means.
But I suddenly remembered something. The tombstone in the Botanical Garden has that Latin line on it that Akane said to us at some point. So we all ran back without explaining why. They just started running. The rest of the group just followed them, and then we went to the Botanical Garden, and then Kay went like, oh, so you guys know Akane? Yes, how do you know her? Let's talk about this later. We went to the Botanical Garden, unlocked the tombstone because it has a keyhole in it, and then
a pot came up. When we looked inside, it actually no, that
we
wasn't
couldn't
when
look
we looked
inside.
We couldn't look inside.
It was frozen.
Because it was frozen. A thingy started up that the defrost process, whatever thing, has started, and it took like 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
And Kate took that time to basically go into a whole recap, and we went into everything we already know. Was there anything new in there?
Kay remembered everything. Akane, Zero, living here on Rhizome 9, which is the name of a complex we're in. There is multiple of these. 54, I think? You say 54?
I think 50, but something.
I think it was 54, because, which I remember oddly, because 54 is a number that you can divide by 9.
Should have been 999, but...
Just like the 18 antimatter engines that blew up on Earth is 9 times 2. And we're on Rhizome 9, and there's 54
doesn't really
from
matter,
which is
though.
9 times 6.
Even Kay went like, it doesn't matter.
Just accept.
So it doesn't matter.
Yes. He told us that he's grown up here, and when Clover and Alice were shipped here deep frozen, they just put them in storage for like 40 years. Stuff like that. Yeah. So
we'll need you later.
We are all here because we need to be, as Kay explained to us. Every single thing has been planned. There are no wild cards. All of this was predicted by the masterminds Zero and Akane because of their own ability to jump back and forth in time through the morphogenetic field. Because if we can do it, why shouldn't other people be able to do it? And they have envisioned that there's only one set of circumstances where the plan works, and that's the one we're currently living in. And after debating way too much, finally the pod was unfrozen and...
it opened up and it has Sigma in there. Is it the OG Sigma? Maybe? Are we clone Sigma? Probably.
There's a little bit of Sigma in all of us.
Do we have more answers? Yes. Are we gonna get them answered? I have no clue.
Do we have more answers? No, we have more questions.
Well, either way.
It's the other word you were waiting for.
I'm now waiting for Akane to like come into the room from somewhere and tell us everything. That's my hope.
I just want the Hideo Kojima video game ending where some important character shows up out of the blue, just loregasms all over me, and then I can wipe it off of my face and I can go, okay, now I understand.
Out of the red.
Oh, sorry, out of a red. No, blue. The botanical garden has a blue sky.
Okay, fine. We'll take it.
Yeah. Like that SpongeBob episode where everyone was Squidward. I don't recall that one. But I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, it does kind of feel like that. It's getting more confusing and I really hope we'll get answers. So I'm gonna press the button. You ready?
No, you are not ready.
What? I'm ready. You can have the...
I will press the button, Stephen. You drink your tea.
You can have the keyboard today.
No, you do.
Okay, fine.
Because if something goes wrong, can blame you. That's just how it works.
Fine.
You mean fine.
Then,
Jack isn't even swallowing the orgasm. No. No, I don't. I'll just leave it at that. No, I don't.
Quickly press button.
First you need to press this button to make the recap thing go away, Tifa, and then you check, are you ready? That's to check if you're actually ready to take control.
Press the button! We
Then
want to have an ending
are you
today.
ready? You can't rush these things. You need to ease into it. There's a lawgasm waiting to happen. I can't go that fast.
No wonder you didn't swallow it. We're not even getting there. Like, press the button.
And then I ask, am I ready? Which means I look over here and see that. Now you can all watch the intro video, or part of it at least. Wow, she just clicked it away. 91 hours, people. 91 hours of not really understanding what's happening. Let's do this.
91 hours seems okay, really.
We definitely got our money's worth out of this one.
What's the average? Like 60?
24, I believe.
We're not... we're not that far off.
Yes, we are. But it's fine. Oh, and last part of recap. Everybody hated that we ended on this cliffhanger, which, again, proves my point that it was a good cliffhanger. I hated myself for it
I
too.
think this is a good point. Like, now we are still right back in the shock of seeing Sigma once again.
Do you think, because of the speed lines around the screen, do you think Sigma is just going like really fast into... Because, you know, it, like the shock has to stop at some point. I know it's us because we're not pressing the button, but... Hello, Mortonaut. Happy Sunday. How are things? Oh.
Are you back already?
What? Suddenly my head was full of memories from other timelines.
Yeah, we now have 3 Sigma space.
Yes, there's now 3 of them.
Including K.
We debated that we should make today's stream title, Will the Real Sigma Please Stand Up? But then we figured, it's a bit of a spoiler. Because technically there's 3 people with the same face in the same room now. It's us, it's Kay, and it's the ready-to-eat deep freezer Sigma meal that's conveniently in the pot in front of us. Yeah, I guess.
The Sig Pop. Popma. Popma!
That's horrible.
Popma! Yes, we have Kema, we have Sigma, and we have Popma. It's the best way to keep them apart. I don't really care what you say, that's gonna be it.
Fuck it, I'll do it. I speak German, and the name you just come up with doesn't gel with me.
Kema?
No, the other one.
Popma?
Yes. Let's go with Tick, Trick and Track. The German names for, what are they?
Quick,
Huey,
Quack and
Stewie and Louie, the 3 nephews of Donald Duck.
The Dutch have the best names for the
What
nephews.
I will keep it sweet and short. What you just said as a name sounds like, in German, telling somebody to have sex.
Well, which Sigma do you like best? Then we'll swap the names.
Oh look, text for me to read. I've seen something like this before. A warehouse of floor B. In front of a white door. Kay was laying in front of me. I grabbed his mask and saw my own face. I never figured out who he really was. Why was there a man with my face underneath Kay's armor? It didn't make sense. After I'd seen him, I was injected with tubercularine, and that was the end of that. But wait. If a person in the pod was the same person I'd seen on the floor of a warehouse, was wearing K's armor.
You finally noticed.
Wait,
Is it?
are you saying K is Akane? For real?
Wait, you really think they somehow swap bodies?
No,
That
she just put the armor on.
Yeah, so they somehow swapped not bodies but places.
Well, when K is talking to us, Tifa, we assume that the person inside the armor is talking to us. If that thing is like a fully autonomous exoskeleton that can be remote controlled.
Oh, you think in this timeline Akane took the original K's place and
Yes.
Keima is in the pot?
I mean, you can't spell Akane without K.
Oh, so Keima and Padma are the same Sigma. This is like
Every
this is
time
like
you
math.
say, I appreciate wanting to make that a thing. Trust me, it's intrinsic to me. But when you say it, you confuse me.
Yeah, but otherwise you don't know which Sigmas I'm talking about.
No, I would understand better if you don't, is what I'm saying.
Okay, so now we have Akema. Let's see if you're correct.
Tifa-ma, Jack-ma. Also, Kurashiki starts with K. That is true as well.
Didn't I tell you? You won't be alone.
Oh my god, she even said she would be with us.
It really is.
I will be at your side, watching over you.
Oh shit, that was a nice call. I really thought that was just a third Sigma. Third man. You actually are correct from the look of it.
So, how many fears do we want to be true when it comes to K's identity? Yes. Okay, so give me a second then, because I think I nailed that one.
So the right flaw...
Masked Man is 0 confirmed, because Akane is part of 0.
Akane has already said she is not 0.
I
But
don't
fine.
care.
I agree with you.
Might as well be.
I agree with you.
Check.
Oh my god. It does seem to be the case that this Keima was Akane all the time.
Don't say Keima, please. K is a character from 999 Junpei. Ah, close. Close, Tifa.
I was so certain.
Wait. Whoa. Wait. Where is the thing that I wrote down?
I have to remember all scenes with K on the right flow now. I was thinking the same thing, like the one on the... like K riding Zero Junior. That was in the left one, right?
Yeah, unfortunately, that was not Akane.
So all the
That
fun
would've been really
ones
cute.
were with actual Keima.
K is anyone except the people that I said. Tifa gets that point as well. Tifa gets that point.
That was after. Wait, what did you say? K is brother. K is Quark.
K is Sigma's
Sigma.
clone.
You got that right.
Technically, in that one flow. Yeah.
And then I called the dips on K is anyone else. Because you already had way too many.
But did I not write down the one where K gets the Samus Aran reveal? Where it's like, oh my god, there's a girl in the robot suit. I know I said that. Did I write that down though?
I do remember something. I do remember talking about there being a woman in this suit.
Yeah, I didn't write it down.
But we didn't
But yeah,
went
it
with
did
the
happen.
theory.
It did happen.
We did discuss it, but we didn't go with the theory.
Oh well. Everybody wins. Everybody wins. If you make 1,000 guesses, it's not really guessing. Yes, it is.
Jack has a 1 in 100 chance.
I would like to remind everybody, I said K is like 4 people. Tifa went with literally anybody else. Therefore, her net was a little bit bigger cast.
To stop your guessing.
Yeah, and we were both right in the end. No. Oh my god, you're...
Yes, I am.
Dum dum dum.
It's debated whether it's all of Red Floor or just the true ink.
Kane Kurashiki.
Well, if it's
Good
not
question.
if it's not the full right flow, then when did they swap? I would think it was just before we woke up. Like if she was still alive, she actually swapped cases with Kay, then she had time to put the body in the pot and freeze him and take his place. There was no other moment in the flow where they could have pulled off the entire swap.
I maintain that thing can move autonomously. So when she died in the other routes, that thing just was told to get filled with another person. And that happened to be Deep Frozen Sigma over there.
Nah, I think it had Kay in there already. And they just swapped before.
Oh, you also see it in him acting a bit different. For example, when he hesitates to stop Dio. Those little differences in personality I just attributed to, like, in every
Different flow.
iteration of a flow, the characters just are slightly different for some reason. But
Yeah.
that makes sense. Okay, it's Akane.
It's you.
Yeah, I think Tenmyuji and Clover are gonna have words for this one.
June. I mean, Akane. But you're old.
Yes, that's correct. I haven't spoken to you in a very long time, Clover. Or you, Junpei.
Junpei?
Akane.
She had still not figured it out?
She definitely had like a
When
moment,
Tenmyuji
though.
was like, yes, I do know Akane, but we don't have time for this right now. She's like, no, you're what? No. I bet she
That
thought
is-
he is 7. Yeah, it's a common mistake to be made.
It's still really hard to believe, even if you think like, no, that's Junpei, and then you go like, it's not possible, it's 50 years later.
Yeah, because 7 has lost weight.
She definitely thought for a moment already.
I don't think she
Time
thinks
no
much.
see.
The only time when we technically go back and stop Dio from killing Connie. Yeah.
I need to watch a documentary about this movie, this game. I hope there is one.
It makes sense if it would be her the entire time.
I could barely hear what they were saying. My mind was still reeling.
Yeah, why are you sitting on the floor, Sigma?
Because he's reeling, mentally and physically. It felt like all the air had been knocked out of me, and it was all I could do to not collapse right then and there.
When? How long?
Do you remember when the two of you saved me in the warehouse?
Spoilers!
Once you saved me, you went back to your future. Well, your minds did at least.
Real quick. I don't think the microphones picked it up, but Tifa just did the weird cat-like thing where she looks into a corner of a room for absolutely no seeming reason.
Well, our lamp is vibrating.
Our neighbors either once again have a baby elephant over, or they're moving all the furniture, or they're having very, very intensive interpersonal relations. The room is shaking. If you hear a weird ticking noise, that's what Tifa just said, is literally our lights moving.
The one thing I'm always scared of is this
them
lamp
falling?
coming out of
Yeah.
out of the wall, because we have really soft walls.
They're really badly made, yeah. If it suddenly goes dark and you hear us screaming and the stream ends, that's it.
It's the light.
That's not an effect because it's like October and Halloween is around the corner. That's us suffering consequences of our neighbors. Right, let's do this.
I carried your bodies to the 3rd AB room and then took Dio's to the 5th. After that, I went into the 1st room and borrowed Kay's armor.
So by the time you and Clover came out, you'd already...
Wait, borrowed Kay's armor. Implying, okay, so
originally it's Case.
Alright, so the person in the freezer is Kay.
Yeah, that's Kamo.
Okay. Alright. It took me a moment though. I think the choice is picking the right floor or not, and that's basically Schrodinger's cat. I think the only choice that makes sense is first picking doors. So all can the right side is Akane.
But she literally just confirmed that it's her.
Yes. Well, no.
So it is confirmed. Yeah, but it says not confirmed though, as far as I know.
I mean, yes, it can only be Akane after you saved her. Or in any timeline where it's assumed that she is saved. Just because we haven't experienced that happened doesn't mean it didn't happen already, because time travel stories are weird. Akane is one of my favorite characters in all video games. Virtual Last was a big part of the reason. Zero Escape, she was great. VLR makes her so much more interesting. I just need answers. Press a button.
Yeah, I would also say I want to hear the answers first.
Wait. That doesn't make any sense. Dio killed you. And then Luna took your body to the 6th room.
Yeah, wrong flow, Sigma.
You couldn't have been in K's armor.
No, it was me. In this timeline, at least. In this one, I wasn't murdered by Dio. You two saved me.
It's Sigma suffering from his memories blending together.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like us while playing this after the nth flow.
I also don't know anymore what all goes into one. Even though here you'd think he'd remember, because the jumping back in time, getting the key to unlock this after saving her, is such a big thing that you'd think he remembers saving her life.
I think when you remember everything, the bigger problem is realizing what is actually real in the reality you're currently finding yourself in.
I can understand the confusion, but this is definitely a big enough thing that happened as one of the last things that you'd remember. Evie, congratulations on being second and on being
Nice.
first.
Happy Sunday. Ooh, Mothernut coming in with a third. Always spite Skinner. I understand, but yeah.
Depends on whether you think the true end path of Phi and Dio saving Akane happens in all of the right pathways, regardless of your choices or not. Personally, I'm also on the side of all right flows, but it's
Yeah.
often debated.
I mean, a story like this opens the debate. Does the rest of the story of the game happen whether you play it or not? If we go with my theory that us as the players are like this extra-dimensional being witnessing all of this, and only what we witness is reality,
The hidden player.
I guess...
Can I
Maybe.
play this and pick the right flow and look how K behaves? Do that.
Does a tree falling alone in the woods still make a sound? I would say yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Alright, let's do this.
Down to 499k, I need that refund!
You'll get it later.
What do you want to do with all those coins, all those points? If I had to, we didn't unlock this timeline or awareness of it until we solved all the puzzles.
That's true.
That is also true, yeah.
I didn't expect to get into like philosophical slash... What's the word? Is it physics? Is time travel physics? I guess.
I mean, I'm just going with the flow. I'll take whatever the game gives me at this point.
I didn't expect to be having all of these debates and conversations during this game. I'm positively surprised. Still,
You ready?
I am.
It's just like Schrodinger's cat.
Wait, Schrödinger's cat.
I'm sorry. I need to unzip the German. It's Schrödinger. Umlaut is a funny concept. Schrödinger I would also accept. It's not Schrödinger.
I'll take it.
But
We all know what she's saying.
I understand the problem of having to pronounce a word you probably never heard pronounced before and you only know it from reading.
And it's a different language.
And that. So, it's fair, I'm just telling you, it's Schrödinger. Or Schrödinger, if you don't do the I get it. Schrödinger's Katze. Yes.
It works.
Katze streicheln.
Yeah.
Always. Okay.
Your actions in the future decided who would be inside the armor in the past.
Okay.
What? No, that's nuts.
Alright, what about the other history? The one where you weren't saved. What happens then? Who's wearing the armor?
That's quite simple. The man in front of you.
Him?
That's correct. Whenever I'm not in the armor, he is.
Okay.
So, Padma.
Laws of causality be like, am I a joke to you? Yeah, it's... Is it widely accepted that the way they explain, like, causality amongst time travel is actually how that would work? Because I think, I don't know, reality would unravel if you do all of this.
I mean, how do you know?
Ah, that's a good point. Schrodinger's cat. I like that one. I like that one a lot.
The armor was the real cat box. You know, I'm just sitting
That's
here
true.
already happy
Cat got a cat.
that we only have 2 Sigmas at this point.
Oh yeah, true. We're down to 2 again.
Yeah, like
Well,
that kind of...
2 in the same room.
It simplifies things a little bit again, doesn't it?
A little bit. All right.
What about the memory loss?
For my part, I confess that I lied.
How dare thou?
But Padma actually did lose his memory.
Tifa, please. Now you're using the name you coined earlier for a different character.
No, the one in the pot. Fine, Kema.
So your name depends on your location.
Yes.
This is Office, Tifa.
No, Akane actually did lie about the memory loss, but I think, let's just go with K then.
Thank you.
The actual K in the armor did lose his memory to play his part.
Yeah, okay. Don't enable her.
Why, thank you.
Oh my god. Okay.
But Kema now transformed into Padma. So Kema,
This is not Pokemon.
Kema and Padma are basically the same. It's more like digivolving, like they revert back to the previous state. You ready?
Yes.
Did you absorb the information?
No, but carry on.
He, on the other hand, was telling the truth. Large doses of soporil can cause memory loss. I gave him a rather large dose.
So, who is he?
You've never seen him before?
She even gave him the same shirt.
No,
Nah, it doesn't look familiar.
doesn't look familiar at all. Where's Jack?
Wait. For a second I thought she was going to press the end stream button accidentally.
Yeah, I'm done. I'm blurred.
Okay, this is enough internet for today. Bye. No.
No.
What about the rest of you?
I have no idea who he is.
Wait, what? No. Do
we suddenly have a different face?
Time out. Do they all have prosopagnosia?
Wait. This is the same as when I first saw Kema. I told you he looks different from the actual Sigma.
No.
They have a different
no.
hair color. Sigma
It's
has like
worse.
a grayish hair color and Kema has like full black.
No, Tifa. We don't look the way we think we look. That's why in this game there's never been a mirror. Sigma never looked at himself. The only time we as the players got to see Sigma is in the intro and in the flashbacks, where he thinks he looked like that. Sigma doesn't look like that.
But does that mean Sigma is the higher being who is...
Sigma is gonna look like the fucking termite man. Watch. He's 0.
Fun time. You mean confusing time. Okay. Let's see the face.
I've never seen him before.
Me either. Total stranger.
Hey, come on, what are you guys saying? Right here. Same face. No.
I've never seen your face.
They
And
look
now
at
go
us
like,
because we're dumb, because we don't look like that.
Now they go like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Are you all right, Mr. Sigma? Did you hit your head or something?
Huh? What? It didn't make any sense. Why didn't they recognize me?
Sigma, your consciousness can jump through time. You can inhabit your body in the past or in the future.
You look like Dio.
He is the man from the hologram. Sigma was the only person in the room to see him. There was nobody else that could have pointed out, hey, that looks exactly like you, that's wild. It was only Sigma. We are the termite man.
So we are literally zero.
Yes. That's what I've been saying the whole time. But nobody believes me.
It's slightly different.
Yeah, press buttons. Oh, what does that mean?
Don't you get it? You've jumped to the future from 45 years ago.
I looked around frantically.
Good job. You literally got it. You can
No,
look that
press
up and
buttons.
put a
It's too early
T
to
on it.
celebrate. No, not with this game.
You absolutely got it.
A pond. I ran to it and threw myself down onto my knees. Crawling on all fours, I approached the edge. My heart was hammering inside my chest.
Now this Pocahontas song starts playing where she looks in the water, sees her reflection, or is that Mulan?
Who
says
cares?
something like
Press
that.
buttons!
Sorry.
Please don't anybody ever let her film anything. Her pacing would be just as bad as mine. A cold sweat trickled down my spine. Calm down. Calm down. Calm down, damn it. I struggled to take deep breaths. And slowly, I peered into the pond looking for my reflection.
Wouldn't we have noticed the icing? I swear to God, how can you not once have touched your face or your eye or rub your eye or do something
2nd of
with
August, 0 is definitely Sigma. 29th of August, 0 is Sigma from another point in time. I called both of these things and you looked at me like I wasn't the kind of person to do this.
I'm even giving you 2 points for that because you
Yeah.
called both of those things.
Yes, I did.
The Sigma in another point in time was brilliant and definitely
Sigma
deserves a
equals
point.
0 was the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th thing I wrote down.
But then another point in time is pretty
Yeah.
brilliant though. Also, when was that? 2 months ago? No, it's not that. Yeah.
A
roughly.
while ago.
They repeatedly call him an old man. Yes. True.
Did they? I
Yeah,
didn't
they
recall
called
that.
us an old man a couple times even.
Which makes it even creepier when he went hey, I want to see you in a bathing suit.
We even lost an eyebrow, by the way. No, but seriously though, how could we not have noticed? We have this. What is it even?
Clover even... True, I remember that Clover said he must do a ton of drugs to look like this in his 20s. Yeah.
There is
Dio's
no
saying,
way.
let you geezer to Sigma in the ending where you get your arm chopped off. Yeah, I'll let go you geezer, yeah. It's true.
Impressive.
And the best thing, I didn't even need those clues to realize.
Oh, did you write down the other point in time for your points?
Yeah, I'm okay with it. I got it.
I feel stupid for not getting it earlier. Why the fuck didn't I get this? Don't worry, I didn't get it either, and I'm quite sure you're not, or we're not the only ones. Jack just can be really good at calling these things.
I don't know how to tell a joke, but... Hey. What? No, this can't be real. This face.
It's your face, Dr. Sigma Climb.
Sigma Climb.
Climb is not a very common last name, is it?
This is actually really funny because klim means to climb in Dutch.
Yeah.
And you pronounce this as climb. Climb, klim, climbing.
And he has robot arms, which would make him the star in the bouldering hall.
It's all connected.
Doctor. I mean, yeah, he was working on his dissertation when he got kidnapped.
That is impressive. Oh, does this mean that we are Kay's dad?
No, he's a clone.
Yeah. But in that
Yes.
Kay's memory,
Yes.
basically, were his dad.
Yes.
So that was also us then.
Yes. Yeah.
Impressive.
Just you wait. Just you wait. Fun fact, there's a VLR original animation that premiered a bit before the game's release that showed Sigma's young face to throw people off too. It makes sense. Wouldn't have fooled me, of course, if I had seen it, but yes, it would have.
This is quite impressive.
Although to the you that's behind it now, it's your face 45 years from now.
This poor dude wakes up like, oh no, I'm gonna age so bad. Like, I lose my eyebrow, I lose my eye, and it doesn't even give me advantages, because otherwise we would have noticed something at least.
That also explains why he doesn't remember having robot arms, because that happened at some point in between.
Yeah, some of his body parts. I'm
Yeah,
guessing
just like my eye.
he got hurt during one of the explosions.
Yeah. And that's why he doesn't have a voice actor, because that would have pretty much pointed out that Sigma is K. Yeah? Yeah?
Very smart.
Do you remember Tenmyuji getting out of Quark, betraying Sigma even when ally would be enough? He saw the Termite Man while going back for a picture and knew Sigma Zero, so that something was like... Oh... True, there's that one ending where Tenmyuji just hated us for some reason. Fair point. Fair point.
Oh yeah.
I don't blame Tenmyuji for this. Okay.
Life is definitely rough at this point.
I mean, I called this, but at the same time, I'm still shocked.
You're just throwing things out there.
What was
I don't think
Luna's
you're
password?
correct.
Luna's password?
She gave us the password for the computer.
GTF
No.
DML016, and the other one was Milk Everly.
I think it was the other one she gave.
The only other password I wrote down was Jumpy Doll. Okay.
Zero, the mastermind of the AB project, is you.
Wait, what's Milk Everly backwards? I love Klim. That's why Luna had a thing for us. We are literally the person that made her.
So programmed with some issues.
I mean, to be honest, if I made robot servants, you can bet your ass I would make them love me.
I mean, that is very true. If I made a cute robot girl.
I can make robots, I can make them look whatever I want them to look like. I'll make my own robot waifu harem. The only thing I need is money and the resources.
Reminds me of that anime. What was it called?
My time as a visual novel main character who turned out to be the baddie, who made his own waifu harem.
No. The guy who's basically a skeleton. Stuck in an MMO.
Ah, screw you. It's on
He
the tip of my tongue.
has a German username.
Ains Ulgon is his character.
Overlord.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
I remembered everything except the name of the thing.
I heard it like in the
Yes.
back of my mind really softly, but I couldn't grab it.
Yes,
Overlord.
exactly.
Yes.
Sigma wanted a cute redhead robot girlfriend. Who doesn't? I don't blame her.
This was a really nice mindfuck.
There are worse father-in-laws than Zero, I guess. Unfortunately, the truth. What? No, that's not possible. That's bullshit.
No, it's the truth. Fighting it isn't going to do you any good. Please, Doctor.
I'm not a doctor.
You pioneer in the field of genetic engineering.
You're lying.
No, I'm not. You created him. Well, I suppose I should say you are going to create him.
Create.
His name is Kyle Climb, your clone. That is why he looks just like a younger version of yourself.
Why did we have to go with the name Kyle?
Kyle? Kyle Climb.
Yeah, Kyle is so hard to pronounce. It's like Carl. It like messes with my tongue. Kyle.
Because that
Carl.
no, because that is super cool. Because when you ask him something, he can just go KK.
Are you okay, Kay?
Yes, because for one, it's affirmative, and for B, it's his name.
I'll take it.
23 years ago, in the biolab here in Rhizome 9, you created Kyle. Well, I suppose for you, that's still in the future. When I said I was born and raised here, I was still pretending to be him. The gravity here is only 1/6 of Earth's. If nothing was done, the reduced gravity would cause his bones to be weaker than normal human ones. But you prepared for that. You gave him that armor.
So yes, in a way, the suit does make him physically stronger. It works like fake gravity or artificial gravity.
Yeah, but that's nothing like.
Ever since he was born, he's lived inside of it.
Oh my god, so that flashback was
It
true!
was actually. I just thought that
Little
was to
K
hide.
with... Oh no.
I just thought that was to hide the identity. So they just made it.
That is so
K.
cute.
Also, a tiny bit sad that you have to grow up in an armor like this.
I mean, yes, but at the same time, that picture was real.
Like,
That's
imagine
adorable.
if you have an itch on your shin or something.
I think the suit can scratch for you. Or you just don't itch.
That seems horrible.
It kept his muscles and bones strong. He wasn't forced into it for the Nonary Game. He's been wearing it every day, all his life.
But why would future me create a clone?
He was to be your spare. If something happened to you before the project began, he would take your place.
Now, imagine this. I'm pretty sure it's ventilated.
I'm sure it's
I
toasty.
mentioned before that the AB projects A and B stood for after and before.
But let me tell you, project is an anagram. No, but hear me out. I think I'm also right with that one.
What's that one?
They were working on not just jumping into your own body in different times, but also using a clone as an anchor for your consciousness.
But she already said that this was the spare body.
Yes, but it could just be that he was instructed to carry out the experiments by himself. As in that kind of spare, as in somebody who takes over your role. Like if you
No,
quit
but
your
she
job.
already said that this was the body to continue in. So if something happened
No.
to this body, he could jump into
She
that
did
one.
not say that. She said spare.
That's absolutely what she applies. If something happened to you, he would take your place. I'm quite as your
No.
body.
And is it just Tifa reading it like this? Because I wanted to be right because I said that. But that's not what she said, no.
That's how I think she means it. That confirms that the clone is seen as your own body. Which
Let's
is
find
actually
out.
something you said last time, I think.
Let's find out.
That isn't all they mean, though. The A also means anima, and the B means body. Anima is another word for the soul or the consciousness.
Here we go.
Well, exactly what it says on the tin.
Do it.
Consciousness will go into the future body, and the future consciousness will go into the past body. They switch.
Wait. That means Zero, who set all of this up,
Is now living
is
the young
currently...
life.
Okay, so when we swapped into our into our own body in a different timeline, it wasn't just that they waited, they were in our body. But that means that right now,
But
Zero...
our bodies were collapsed, so that doesn't make sense.
You don't know how long they will have to, like, how long it takes to, like, inhabit the body. But that also means while we're doing all of this, the Sigma that became Zero is back as a sexy 20-something-year-old. Except he's
I prefer
currently
to stay
knocked
there
out.
too. But that doesn't really make sense though, because all signs so far show that we're basically inhabited. And that the other conscience is just like pushed aside.
Press a button, let's find out.
Wait. Science fact, the robot suit is most likely to combat a thing called stress shielding, where if bones don't receive adequate stress, they will lose reinforcement and become weaker and more brittle. This is also an issue with prosthesis, where if the material for a prosthetic has a higher strength than the bone, it takes too much of the pressure off of the bone and causes it to regrow weaker.
I didn't know that, but that reminds me that as a kid, I think I saw a documentary about martial arts. And there they explained, you know, when they do the training thing and they hit like these training dummies, that the impact does something to your body to make your bone become stronger. So there we go. Your bones need to be like used for them to work the way they're supposed to.
That makes sense.
Imagine screwing your younger self over by switching the body. Functionally eternal youth? Yeah.
Having weak bones really sucks though. I remember when I worked at a supermarket once, we had a lady come into the store and she had extremely brittle bones.
Yeah, I think I've heard of that before.
She tripped and basically broke like 8 bones.
Oh, that's so bad. I feel so bad.
It really was. We were all standing there not knowing what to do, because if you like touch and lift her the wrong way, she breaks more bones. Like, that was absolutely horrible. I felt so bad for that woman.
Understandable. I mean, you could create a loop, right? With switching to your younger body thing.
I mean, you keep taking over the body of the clone and be young forever.
Just take over the body 1 second earlier than you did last time. I mean, yes, it only works up until the point of birth, I guess.
But why does it only work once? Why can't you keep jumping? Like, if you have another clone that is young and your current body turned old, why can't you keep going
No. We
back?
haven't talked about different bodies yet. This is still all the same body. Just because I said it, and I'm usually right, it's not confirmed yet.
No, I meant Matanart said you can only do it once. But why can you only switch once?
I don't know.
It feels like you can make an eternal thingy if you have the power of cloning.
Nearly eternal. But let's carry on. Maybe she will give us answers too.
That was the chief goal of the project.
But only the chief goal. Wait, so the future person goes into the past person?
Sigma, do you remember the note you found in the garden?
No.
No, I actually don't.
You mean this, right?
Yes.
I do remember that one. I've been angry about this one so many times.
Now we get there.
Yes?
Ah, of course, it was you who investigated the garden in this timeline.
Yeah.
Sigma, take a good look at this. It's an illustration of the time jumps your consciousness is making.
What? How am I supposed to read this?
I'm a bit confused.
A is where everything began.
Okay, so A is here, near the Nevada test site.
December 25th, 2028.
Yes.
You inhaled the white smoke in your car and lost consciousness. From there, you jumped to B. January 25th, 2028. 2074.
Okay, so we
We jumped 45 years.
followed this line or something.
46, but yeah.
You woke up in one of the AB rooms in Rhizome 9. You are in your own body, but it is 67 years old. Your consciousness has jumped 45 years into the future.
No wonder he couldn't jump out of the AP room though. He's almost 70 years old.
That's true.
I'm
But-
32 and I can't even jump up.
Carry
without
on.
my
We need to
bones
get back to
breaking.
that picture because it
Of course,
implies
eh?
something.
I believe that may explain why you didn't notice the reduced lunar gravity. The body you woke up in was much older. Normally, you would have noticed that your muscles were much weaker.
And there's your explanation.
In this case, however, the lower gravity balanced that out. Moving on. If you continue along this line, what happens next? You reach C, which is January 27th, 2074.
Okay, so here's the thing that messes with me right now.
So that's 2 days later.
This is the intro video to the game, A. And this is Virtue's Last Reward, the game.
Yes.
So, how does he already know that this is gonna happen? And if he already knew this, why didn't he keep his memories? Because this is all still happening, and what is gonna be D, and what's gonna be E, and why is
But
it red?
C is the current. This is the start, C is where we are now, and D is our next step, I guess.
So we still need to make at least 2 more jumps to D and E.
I would say so, yeah.
Okay.
And E is the end point.
Alright.
No? January 27th is the day in game right now.
Yeah, we've
see,
been
so
here for 2 days, basically.
this is where we currently are.
Alright.
That is today.
Whoa.
Should have pressed A.
Wait, what do you mean?
So we've spent...
It's been 2 days
Oh.
since we woke
36 hours to be exact.
Stop pressing things when you freak out, and also, thank you. That is exactly what I was gonna say.
I don't know why it suddenly went to the automatic
Because you
play.
pressed that button. But
I didn't.
you can
Oh,
all
you
make
back.
fun of us for playing slow. We didn't play slow, we played in real time.
And
Multiple
a bit
time
slower,
loops, people.
A bit slower than real time.
No, we've been reliving a span of 36 hours multiple times. I think 91 hours ain't that bad compared.
See, we're actually fast.
Yes, exactly. We're time traveling in real time.
Have you already forgotten?
Yes.
We're all infected with Radical 6. The virus slowed your brain down. So yes, 36 hours of real time have passed. But to you, it only seemed like 14 hours and 40 minutes.
Or 91.
Now comes the important part.
And no one's even hungry yet.
And he needs to make 2 more jumps. What?
After this, your consciousness will return to the past. It will re-emerge at point D. April 13th, 2029.
How does she know where we are going to jump to? Or is this
Because
like
he explained all of this to her already. But isn't that when the antimatter engine planet powering things exploded?
That could be. We still need to get to the whole part where our eye and arms got replaced.
I guess.
So, guessing that's what happened here?
I have no idea.
Or at E?
You will return to your younger body.
But that's the same day as the reactor explosions.
Ah, see? That's where we get hurt.
Why did no one need to go to the bathroom then? It's called shitting your pants. That's very space, actually. That's what astronauts have to do too when they're in the suit.
They gave us pretty good diapers.
Yeah.
Yes. That is why I said it will be too late. You will return to the past, but the events you would want to prevent will have already happened.
So that's why we need to make another jump back,
We need to get to E.
where we're going to stop it. E is the point where we can stop everything from happening.
Okay.
The story does not end there, however. The line continues. After reaching point D, you will eventually return to B. But this time, you won't be jumping through time, or at least not at a rate faster than normal. Your consciousness will spend 45 years inhabiting the same body until you reach point E. Do you remember when B is Sigma?
January 25th, 2074. According to what you just told us, it's 36 hours ago.
Correct. That was when the consciousness of the 22-year-old Sigma jumped into the body of 67-year-old Sigma. So where did the older version of you go when you took his body?
Point A. December 25th, 2028, the day all of this started.
Yes. His consciousness will go back in time 45 years. For a period of time, he will inhabit your younger body. While your younger consciousness is elsewhere, he will be you in the past.
But once that body reaches point D, my 22-year-old consciousness will come back from point C.
That's correct. When that happens, the older version of you will be ejected from your younger body and return to your body at C.
So it's rotating.
How do you even pitch this?
I suppose you could put it that way. But look at this illustration closely.
Also, that explains the two arrows. It's the consciousness of both Sigmas.
Oh, okay.
Because we couldn't understand how the arrows moved.
So the idea is to keep rotating until we find a way to break this time loop to fix the world. It's basically Groundhog Day, but the stakes are higher.
I guess.
Alright.
What if you take all these lines and untangle them? You get one single line. It may look complicated, but in truth, it's a single straight path.
In truth, it's still complicated.
Wait! Oh, okay, now I get it. Look. A. Time shenanigans. I'm guessing the whole plan of this is to somehow create a point E, emergence, end, whatever fancy word we're gonna use, where we can break out of this and have a happy end.
With one exception.
There's a line here at point E, right?
Exactly.
That's what I just said.
Point E is December 31st, 2028, the day of the total eclipse.
The Theoretical 6 got out of a test facility.
Yes, by now you've likely figured it out on your own. The purpose of the AB project was to get the consciousness of the 67-year-old Sigma from point B to point A.
Okay, carry on.
If we can do that, we can change what happened 45 years ago.
You're acting like you
There we
just
go.
predicted something. You didn't.
Yes. That was my very first... That was the thing I said like months ago now.
This was my prediction that this facility was made to stop the thingy.
This Nonary game is a gauntlet for Sigma to become zero, to become the thing that can fix all of this. To fix the world from being screwed from Radical 6 to happen so that none of this ever needs to happen. It's what I said.
No, that is so not yours.
Yes,
but I
it
don't
was.
think we wrote that down.
Unfortunately, we don't have an extra dimensional being that can now just swap the stream to that moment when either one of us has said it. And because Schrodinger's cat is a thing, you can go check the VODs on YouTube later and see which one of us was correct.
If someone remembers, we'll hear it.
And we all know it's me. So the old version of me will keep Radical 6 from getting out. By jumping into my 22-year-old body on New Year's Eve 2028?
Yes. That is why this line could not be interrupted.
23rd of August, Jack. This game is meant to supercharge Sigma to solve past issues.
The supercharging
Thank you.
got right, but I'm pretty sure that I was the one who said first that this was all meant to save everyone from the virus.
Well, if we go with my idea for the next time we play a game like this, where we take the notes digitally, next time you can just quickly add them yourself.
Nah, we have the same problem then.
No, we won't.
Yes, we will.
In order for the 67-year-old version of you to reach point B, we first have to go through point D.
Double check the VODs, no need, Mattenhart. Thank
okay.
you, but it's okay.
Thank you, first of all, but
That's like
was right.
90 hours to go through.
I mean, technically that's what the second Nonary Game was all about. In a way, yes. In a way, yes.
True.
In order to get to point D, we must jump from point C. And for point C to happen, we had to recreate everything that happened in this facility. That is why we have faithfully retraced history up to this point, so that we might save humankind from destruction and undo the horrors of the last 45 years.
That's an ambitious goal though. The one thing I would like to know is where did they get the funding from?
From themselves. All you have to, like, if you can time travel back into your own body, making money is so easy. Just figure out all the lottery numbers. No, I'm serious. Just figure out all the lottery numbers.
This planet was saved thanks to blah-de-blah jackpot.
Yes. All of you for surviving was brought to you by the lottery, apparently. Do
Also,
every bet on sports. Do every bet on like horse races. Buy every lottery ticket. Doesn't matter.
I just saw the line and I am actually wrong. I said that we're here to harvest antibodies to save everyone from Radical 6.
That's true. That is not the thing anymore.
It's not the same thing.
And that also means that the Latin book written by Sigma/0 is true. No?
The diary thing that was in Latin? Yeah, I would say
Also,
so.
Radical 6 makes you time travel is what I wrote down. I think that's correct as well.
Radical 6 does not
It's
make
necessary. It's a necessary step.
I don't. Radical 6 makes you time travel. I don't
Yes, it
agree with
does.
that one.
Yes,
because
it does.
not everyone who has Radical 6 can time travel, as we've already established. Like Clover can't.
No, but if you can, it makes you.
That's actually that's for later. Let's go through this first.
Tell me one thing.
What is that?
Radical 6 doesn't make you time travel. Thank you.
Doesn't make you... We mean the same thing.
You
Semantics.
better cross that off again.
Semantics. I will cross it. You said that point C is January 27th, 2074, which is today. There's going to be a jump, and I'll jump to April 13th, 2029.
Yes, that's right.
But, look.
Be ready for some pain. I think losing an eye and both your arms is gonna hurt.
Oh shit, yeah. That's probably the event that makes it necessary for Sigma to be augmented.
Cyborg.
Yeah.
We're probably gonna jump right before the explosion, somehow lose some limbs,
Yeah.
and then get modified into what we currently are.
Okay, but look. I'm still old. When is this jump supposed to happen?
Very soon.
Soon.
Yes.
And what's going to trigger it?
We need potential energy stored to send your consciousness into the 4th dimension. Fortunately, we now have plenty of that. Thanks, ironically, to Radical 6. All that remains is to launch your consciousness, like a bullet from a slingshot.
They do like slingshots.
And how do you propose to do that?
Didn't I tell you? A crisis. A moment balanced between life and death.
In before she stabs us.
I wouldn't be sure.
Jumpstart your brain.
What do you mean?
You haven't figured it out. I mean this.
She's gonna... yeah. Use a knife. No sooner were the words out of my mouth.
Okay, she's not stabbing us, but she's actually stabbing someone.
That's rude.
That is kind of rude, isn't it?
Stress helps Aspers to be able to time travel, but Reckless explicitly doesn't do anything. Meh. I'll take it. So you're saying there's zero escape? I hope not. I hope not. Why would you dive if not for stabbing someone? To spread butter on bread.
To peel my oranges.
To cut cheese.
That's an important one.
Phi! I screamed and leapt toward them. Akane was already in motion, the knife diving toward Phi's chest. I was almost there. And I regained consciousness. I was on the floor. There was a dull pain in my chest. I felt for a cut, but something was in the way. It took me a moment to realize that it was Akane's body lying on top of me. I twisted my neck to look around. Nearby was an old tombstone. On it was written a few words in Latin.
I mean, that's the sound of an ending.
Tifa! 2 days ago, in before she stabs us.
Oh shit! Did I say that before she grabbed the knife? That was when she said, I'll take it. But...
Okay. Yeah, there's gonna be another floor after this, right? Or is that gonna be the next game? No, they're gonna give us
this is
an
not
ending,
the,
right? No,
this is not the end.
There's gonna be another floor after this. Click.
Wrong day. There's
can't skip this.
There's no skipping this. Congrats on the true end!
No.
Is this actually the end? There is more to this, right?
Nah. There is no
way.
anime cutscene ending. No.
There is a post-credits bit, thank you. But post-credits! I also don't like the sound of that, actually.
That was too fast for the ending.
I feel like we got answers, but not an end. You know what I mean?
There is still the jump to C and D and E that we haven't seen, so... So this stabbing triggered Sigma going back to the lab, preventing the outbreak? I guess. I mean, him trying to save Phi makes him die, which means his consciousness goes wherever when he comes to and when he jumps into the other body, I guess.
But what happens to the other... to the old Sigma that then comes back? So he actually dies.
No, they don't... I mean, if we get to point E where we can prevent all of this happening, nobody ever dies. None of this happens.
Fair. But this is another flow where someone dies at this point.
The point is he jumped between Phi and Akane. That's why Akane was on top of it. Exactly.
Yeah, but Akane could have predicted we would try to save Phi.
Changes the timeline.
So was this meant to happen or not?
This, what we just witnessed, doesn't change the timeline. This was part of a plan. Akane knew she had to do this. I swear, if we don't get to see any, the least little bit of a payoff for all of this, I'm gonna
I'm gonna be pretty
tell
mad.
Steam I want a refund after playing these 2 games for over 140 hours.
I played this for 92 hours and I hated it. Please give me back my money.
Come on, another part of a new destination has been added to the flowchart. Thank you.
Didn't we even say that we get to Phi end and then it continues?
I guess.
Okay, now the post credit. Hey, 92 hours. Good job. Double save. Let's do this.
Alright.
Let me very quickly.
Okay.
Okay. Look at Phi getting such a long ending.
Okay, and now we are back before whatever, because this is chronologically, this is the earliest point. Yeah.
Yeah, this is before the explosion.
Let's take a short break before this.
Okay, then BRB, and then we'll start again.
BRB.
We're back.
We are. Now, before you press this, this place is where it meant to be the end. Everything after it was added late into production when they realized the 3rd game might never come out. I hate that. I hate that with a burning passion. Okay.
So they basically did the Netflix thing and on a huge cliffhanger.
Yeah.
And then go like, oh, are we gonna make another season? Well,
Yeah, like imagine
let's
if
find
we
out.
had ended this whole thing after yesterday. Without today's stream. After 2 days ago. Yeah.
That would have been really shitty. Okay, but we do need to play the last game to get the full story. That sucks. I was hoping we would get the answers.
Okay.
Or all of the answers here.
Technically, this is non-canon. How can it be non-canon when it's in the game?
Well, let's see what it is.
Let's do this. Do you wish to jump? Yes.
Today is April 13th, 2029, and this is the evening news. Unfortunately, I'm sorry. I don't have any news to read. All of our station's reporters have passed after contracting Radical 6. So have my... Excuse me. I've managed to keep us on the air until now. But I'm out of tricks.
Okay, kudos to her for figuring out how to run all of the tech. That's impressive.
I mean, no one says the tech dudes are out. She just said all of the reporters at least.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. But, okay, yeah,
It's time for me to sign off. This concludes our broadcast day. I pray that someday our world can be cleansed of this horrible plague. Goodbye.
Okay.
On live TV.
For a moment I just stared at the TV. The roar of static seemed to fill the entire room until with a click it disappeared too. Had the power gone out? I heard footsteps behind me and turned around.
So, who is this? Akane?
That's the same sign on the cultist rope as Free the Soul. I told you they are connected. I told you.
You did say that. But who is it? Left?
Watch it. Sigma
Brother?
Zero is also brother. You.
It's a young Akane. Wait, is she also the leader of Free the Soul?
Akane.
It looks like the first step was successful.
What the fuck? You killed me!
I mean...
Normal reaction, right? I mean, I would do the same.
If I knew the person I killed would come back, you'd have less trouble, wouldn't you?
Yes, unfortunately yes, but at the same time, this is a normal conversation to have.
It's like you just respawn like in an MMO.
Killed?
I guess technically you're going to kill me 45 years from now, but still.
Hey, no need to be rude about it.
Yes! All the reasons.
I didn't kill you.
It was just a little stab.
Yeah, just in the heart. It's fine.
You baby, just take it.
I hit you with the butt of the knife. You're fine.
That didn't look like she was stabbing Phi with the butt and
Wait,
seeing how
she stabbed herself then?
and seeing how we went in between.
Listen!
Yet, I mean...
She was laying on top of him, she killed herself!
I mean, that makes sense, because we were still moving around. But that means she must have somehow flipped the knife.
For the love of God, press buttons.
To stab herself. That's quite impressive. I'm just saying. Remember the rope snake was found in the coffin when in the first game?
Yeah, the cultist ropes.
Did that have that symbol on it?
Was that Free the Soul as well?
I remember the colors, but I don't remember if it had the symbol.
I'm okay.
Yes. You and Phi needed to experience a state of crisis. That was the only way.
Me and Phi.
Yes. I only told you about you, but we also needed Phi to jump.
So where's Phi now?
Now, you know what happens next, right?
I just checked. Our microphones are picking that up. That weird sound you heard? It's the elephant again. Super faint on your end, I think, but...
That's our lamp vibrating.
Yeah. It was the Free the Soul ropes.
Okay, nice little touch. So they already had the second game planned or some of the story in mind?
Oh, it was very easy to just connect the two. We go to the moon?
Correct. We will be leaving tomorrow, April 14th, 2029. We've nearly finished preparing your shuttle. Only a few last-minute checks and additions. You'll be traveling to Rhizome 9, along with 3 treatment pods.
Alice and Clover, right?
Yes.
What about the third one? Who's in there?
Phi. We put her into cold sleep 2 days ago. She appeared at our headquarters and volunteered to be frozen. That wasn't the Phi who jumped from point C, though.
Different Phi.
It was Phi before she jumped from point A to point D.
Wait, what?
Oh, we're gonna make this confusing. Okay.
So it wasn't our Phi, it was a different Phi. How did she know, though?
In other words, she was following the same path you are.
Well, she must have already jumped to other points and know what's happening.
Okay.
And she still is.
And that means that after you froze her, the point C version of her jumped back into her body?
Yes. The point C version of Phi is sleeping in that pod. She'll stay there for the next 45 years, sleeping in ice.
Then when she gets to point B, her consciousness will jump to point A, right?
Correct.
Huh.
That's why Phi woke up and knew our name and stuff.
Yeah. Because she is on a different rotation.
Yeah. So she still had some of the memories on what was happening.
Huh. So that's why she didn't look old. So why don't you just stick me in one of those pods?
We can't do that.
And why not?
You haven't figured it out? You have to spend the next 45 years working on the AB project. After arriving at Rhizome 9, you must master genetic engineering and artificial intelligence programming, among other disciplines.
Ah, no pressure.
Just become essentially the smartest person in existence.
What the heck comes after 6?
I couldn't even finish high school
You will be
properly.
unable to create Kyle, Luna, and Lagomorph. And, of course, you will need to develop the chromatic doors and the bracelets.
And the puzzles.
Oh, and while you're at it, can you make sure Lagomorph is a bunny? I would really like a bunny.
And when you go to pee at night, remember, it's uphill both ways.
Oh my god, but who is she? Yeah, we still don't really know who Phi is. We have no background info on Phi.
You will also be the person who summons Tenmyoji and Quark. Once you've completed all the preparations, then the project can actually begin.
Question. What's she doing in the meantime? Like, I feel like this is an unfair task. Dividing the...
She is the catalyst
siding.
for all of this to happen.
I guess.
January 25th, 2074. You will defrost Phi and carry her to the third AB room.
Can you write this
Once
down?
you've done that, the 22-year-old version of you from point A will force you out. And you'll just go back 45 years to your own body on December 25th, 2028.
Phi is the true mastermind here.
Yeah.
Or Akane is the true mastermind here, though. Like, to come with all of this is like... meltdown.
And True Sigma was already working on his PhD when he was abducted in 2028.
Yeah, but like working on your PhD and then to be told that you need to do all of these things in 40 years, it's like...
No one ever said Sigma's predicament was fair. It's pretty fucked up. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes. That's a lot of stuff to put onto one person.
basically.
And then I change history. Do you really think I can keep the virus from getting out?
You have to. If you don't, billions of people will die. Only you and Phi can save them.
What about you? Aren't you an Esper too?
I can't do anything on my own. If this is going to work, I'll need your help.
Why can't she do anything? I feel like that's important.
Can we get another person who is some kind of expert on cloning and whatever I need to do? Like, just to get some help? Like,
Why
I'm fresh
don't
out of
I
school.
clone myself 50 times and 50 times you, and then we have 50 times the Sigmas and the Arcanes to figure this stuff out with us? And now the reason why we have those 9 specific people, he remembers he played the game with him, so he makes sure that they will be there. It's the only way to be 100% sure it was at least one timeline where the AB plan works.
That makes sense.
Remember that voice recording, the one where a female voice says, "I've killed billions"? Yeah, in the test center.
That was Phi.
Oh my god!
I think you are right. A scientist in that lab.
Do you remember
So
in
Phi
one of the
was-
rooms we get this like cassette
yeah,
kind of thing and
yeah.
we play it, and then it's like this back and forth between like this like maintenance staff or whatever, like, "Hey, radio check, how are you guys doing?" And when she was like, I've killed millions. They're all
Yeah.
dead. Okay.
I hope we get to learn where Phi comes from. It wasn't Phi voice actor.
That
Okay.
doesn't mean it's not Phi at a different age.
That is true.
Like, just because it's not her voice actress doesn't mean it's not the character.
I do hope we get some info on where Phi comes from.
That would give her great agency or urgency for the story as well, because she wants to undo this. Yeah, I like that one. If that turns out to be true, nice touch. So, what do I need to do?
What do you mean?
Like, what specific actions do I need to take? When Phi and I jump to point A, what are we going to do then?
You'll both enter the Mars mission test site.
And after that?
I don't know.
What?
I'm sorry. I really don't know anything about what happens in there. We don't know how the Radical Six escaped. We don't even know why it was there in the first place.
What? Oh, crap. Then we're screwed.
That's why we need your help. You have the ability to jump through time and across parallel worlds. We need you to figure out what happened in that test facility. Things will be difficult, and I'm sure you will find yourself in a great deal of danger. But I believe the two of you can overcome any obstacle.
Wait. How do you know it's so dangerous?
The 67-year-old version of you told me what happened. He wasn't able to stop the virus. So I suppose you could say you told me after you failed.
What did I say?
I mean, even worse case, it's not like we made it worse. If we couldn't stop it, I mean, we tried. We're not the cause for it, at least.
We don't know that.
I kind of thought we were the cause of it as well.
We might as well be.
That the test facility is full of traps. There was one point, a woman's life was in danger. You risked yourself for her sake, and lost your arms and your right eye.
Oh.
There we go.
That's not what I thought would happen.
My arms and my right eye.
That looks pretty cool, though.
What the hell?
I would definitely keep with this.
I would freak out too. I get it.
I mean, yes, if you woke up with robot arms. But seriously, it does look pretty cool.
I think after I shed myself until I passed out from screaming, I would eventually warm up to the idea. I'm just saying.
I mean, yeah, you first need to
not the
go
worst.
past the stage of acceptance and all that.
Suddenly a low rumble shook the building.
No, that's just a neighbor.
Yeah, it's IRL. This is what it sounds like. What was that?
Go have a look.
I moved slowly to the window and peered outside. On the horizon I could see a massive mushroom cloud climbing slowly toward the sky.
The worst thing, this cloud that we drew is now like blushing.
It looks like a king cobra, kind of. Looking at you and blushing. No?
A little bit.
I like it.
This must be such a scary sight, though.
I peered outside. The building was an octagon! What shape is an octagon? It has 8 angles. But what does it look like? Suddenly I'm thinking of fruit. Would we really be able to change the course of history? No, it was the wrong way to look at it. It couldn't be a question. I had to change history. We could save the world. I'm going to change history. I stared at the darkening skies above us and steeled myself. I would succeed.
Can you draw an octagon? An octagon is easy. Can you draw a parallelogram?
Can you do a tangram?
End or beginning. But wait. Was that it?
Yes. That's it. You get nothing.
That was it?
Yes.
For real?
Yes.
But, stop the time. 92 hours, 23 minutes and 39 seconds. But seriously. We didn't even get to save the world or anything.
Better buy the third game.
At least we now know the third game is a direct follow-up of this game. Right?
It doesn't have to be.
Like, it has to.
It doesn't have to be.
It absolutely has to.
60 hours of not pressing A. And I wouldn't do it any other way.
But, regardless, congratulations.
There's still something on the floor. You're lying. Wait.
Okay, now those flows match up.
What?
Oh, we got an... If you didn't say that, I wouldn't have seen that.
What? Why didn't the game tell us that?
I would not have looked for that.
What? At least tell us that there is more, please. Do you wish to jump? Yes, of
I
course.
would not have checked the flow again.
I was thinking, what screen do we go on to discuss the game, take a minute, and then go back into reading the gold files? But let's continue.
Where?
Appeared at the same time. Oh.
What?
Wait. Was this Sigma with a voice actor?
Yes, now he's voiced.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
When it told you there were more floors, didn't we check the bottom? It even started you hovering over a new section. Did it? Okay. Alright, let's do this.
Let's...
Maybe we've had the ending. Maybe now we get to the ending.
I see you've finally woken up, Kyle.
It's the clone! Wait, so that means the actual Sigma died?
No. That means what you said it means, I think.
That the actual Sigma died?
No.
That you just said no to?
Well, we've only witnessed the story through the eyes of Sigma's consciousness.
Yes.
What if it is now in Kyle's body, like we said?
Yes, but that
Carry
probably
on,
means that Sigma is dead because Kyle was the spare.
Do you have to die for that to happen? We don't know.
Well, let's see.
Kyle.
Ah, yes. Of course. You've only just woken up in this timeline. It's only natural for some of your memories to be missing.
I lurched upright, jumped off a bed and ran around the other side of a partition. The mirror of the sink was covered with a film of dirt. I wiped it off with my sleeve and my reflection stared back at me.
Dum dum dum.
There was no mistake. The reflection belonged to...
Kyle Climb. So, I'm Dr. Climb? Zero Senior's clone?
What? How do you know that? Shouldn't you still be suffering from amnesia?
Well, not all, apparently.
Nice! I'm hot again. Yes! Wait.
How do I prevent losing...
Yeah. It's not the other body. I get it.
my eyebrow.
Where are we going with this?
I would actually miss the robot arms.
A little bit. Yeah.
If I had to pick between those robot arms or my actual arms, I would definitely pick the robot arms.
An excellent question, one I didn't quite know the answer to myself. I knew who Kyle Climb was. In another history, he had been called K and had worn a suit of armor.
Oh, we get to see it again. Yes! Oh, so cute.
He hadn't just worn the armor in that history, though. Apparently, he'd worn it in all his life.
That is so cute.
This is still my favorite piece of art from the entire game.
Do you think they really have like 100 pieces of suit?
Yes.
To grow along with.
Also, Lagomorph looks, or Zero Junior looks that way because K likes bunnies.
Apparently. That's so
you
cute.
You want to bet?
Makes sense.
Kyle had been born and raised in this lunar installation, which seemed to be called Rhizome 9. Rather late in his life, Arcane had appeared as a mother figure, and he had consequently grown very attached to her. I knew everything about him. But even though I knew it, I didn't feel it. Was I really Kyle Climb? Every time I looked in the mirror, I saw his face. The spitting image of Sigma Climb in his younger days. I looked down. There was Dio still handcuffed. I turned back around to Luna.
What day is today?
January 27th, 2074.
And today is the last day of the AB project. Akane has explained everything in the garden. And she drew a knife and attacked Phi. How long have I been asleep?
About 5 hours in real time.
Okay, so this happened after that, which makes sense.
For them, it would have seemed like a little more than 2 hours.
So they still haven't been treated for their Radical 6?
No, they've all been given the antiviral. It just takes a while to have an effect.
Okay, so at least we all have that.
We've all been treated.
Alright.
I see. So the consciousness of the younger Sigma has gone back into the past. This should have happened right after Akane attacked Phi, right?
Hard to see if she actually stabbed herself here, but
I think that's the point.
seeing how he was all like looking around.
Yeah.
I think you're right there.
Yes.
Why am I here?
That's what I would like to know too.
The doctor carried you back here. You were in the pod in the garden.
So the person you call the doctor is Sigma Klein, as inhabited by his age-appropriate consciousness.
Yes, but how do you know that?
Dio seems to have remained unconscious.
Yes.
I gave him an extra punch in the head just to make sure.
I've been administering Soparil whenever he gets restless.
That's fine. Nobody cares.
What about the others?
They've all gone off to different areas. Tenmyoji and Quark, for instance.
Oh, right! Mr. Klein!
After knowing everything as the people who are in this project too, not Sigma or Phi, like it is better to just live here, I guess, than go back to Earth. Like you have everything here, you have your food, you have your rec room.
But check out the other rhizomes, maybe there's more people there.
You could do that, but
But how does Kyle know all of this? Exactly!
we're not getting answers to that now.
Why do I think Kyle is not Kyle? I think Kyle is Sigma.
You think he jumped in there?
Yes, which, you know, the thing that I told you wasn't confirmed yet?
Oh yeah.
I think this is going to confirm it.
But no internet. Well, there's no internet on Earth either.
That's true.
The internet got blown up.
Sigma can jump into clones of his. That's what I'm beginning to think. Or Kyle also went through his own story, and this, when he wakes up here, this isn't Kyle freshly unfrozen. This is Kyle looping back into his body from a later point in time where he had learned these things.
Well, I do think Sigma is capable of jumping into Kyle's body. Probably some kind of DNA thing that they're gonna throw it on. But I do not think this is Sigma at this point.
But we know where Sigma's consciousness went, who just played through it. But that doesn't mean off-screen nothing happened.
It also doesn't mean that this is like the same time point.
Yeah, we only get to witness time as it unfolds in the story. But there could have been a million more jumps in the background that we aren't privy to.
What if Kyle is the being that was traveling along with Sigma? That's why he knows everything.
Oh, Kyle is
Kyle
the
was
player.
the player making the choices.
Okay.
That's why he knows everything, because he basically latched on to Sigma.
That's very horror science fiction, but I'll take it. See if the game will tell us anything.
I don't expect any answers anymore, honestly.
So the sleepyhead's finally up, huh?
What are you two doing here?
You don't know where we are?
This is the upper floor of the pressure exchange chamber. The real one.
Mm-hmm.
We were just about to get dressed and head out.
You plan to return then? To Earth, I mean.
Yeah.
Why would you?
It's all you know.
It's not a better life.
But it's the life you knew.
Why would you want to go back to that? They even talked about how horrible it was, and they had to look for food and try to survive by trading items.
Well, unless they can make another case suit for Quark, I think 10 Muji wouldn't mind being in low gravity space for a little bit. But it's not going to be good for Quark's body, at least.
Sigma told us where we could find the shuttle that brought us here. Well, guess he's not really the Sigma I knew anymore. He's Dr. Klein now, or Zero Senior, depending on how you look at it.
Why?
What do you mean, why?
Well, I'm just curious why you would choose to return to a devastated planet when you could stay here.
Tifa confirmed Carl.
Yeah, it makes sense. Why would you go back?
Well, 10 Muji has a point too. If you want to make the world a better place, you might as well start.
But what can they do?
Something better than nothing.
You aren't gonna say something idiotic about how we should wait here until Sigma changes the past, are you?
Yes, Tifa, what was your plan?
Just live out your lives there.
That's what they're trying to do.
No, not on Earth. In here.
You can't wait for something that's already happened. Grammar doesn't work that way. Hell, nature doesn't work that way. You following me? We've already lived through history. Sigma failed to keep the virus from getting out. About 45 years ago, Radical 6 created a pandemic, and the antimatter reactors blew up. That all happened. Whatever Sigma does in the past, history's not gonna change. In fact, it's because of what he did or didn't do in the past that we've got this past and present.
Oh, we go into the what if you were able to go back in time and change something, do you change history or do you create another timeline? Oh, that makes me so sad, because that means this 10 Miyuji. Where's Akane?
Somewhere.
Why would he not choose to spend time with her?
I think after 45 years,
I would still have so many questions for her.
things have changed.
Let me give you an example. Imagine a group of 100 motorcycles driving down an endless freeway.
Okay, here we go again with mind puzzles. Yeah.
Eventually, they hit a junction. The road splits in two. One freeway continues off northwest, and the other stretches out to the northeast. So one guy, we'll call him S, pipes up. "Let's go northwest," he says. So they take the northwestern road. But about a mile past the intersection, something horrible happens. A semi driving the other way veers into their lane and plows through the bikers. 90 of them die. The surviving 10 are wounded, but survive. They don't stop, though. They keep riding down that highway, and eventually they'd gone 10,000 miles. Then suddenly, something happens that they couldn't have predicted. S, who had survived, suddenly has his consciousness thrown back in time. He ends up back in his own body just before they reach the junction.
No, you just say what you're talking about. Like, this whole metaphor just... It doesn't work.
Well,
we know you're talking about this.
Now he goes like, oh, let's go the other way.
Yeah.
He remembers everything. So what does S do? What anybody would do. Let's go northeast. That means all 100 of the bikers survive to reach their destination, happy and healthy. And they all live happily ever after.
As for Sigma.
As for Sigma Climb. Yep.
That's what you're thinking, right?
Yes.
It's a great outcome for the 100 bikers that went northeast.
This is the start of Final Destination, by the way.
Pretty much, yeah.
They will all die a horrible death after that.
But what about the 10 that went northwest and survived the accident?
Huh? Wouldn't it be 9 people? I mean, S's mind went back in time, right?
Right. Okay, 9 people then. What happens to the reality they were living? Does it just disappear when S changes the past? It's not as if it was only bad things that happened during that 10,000-mile trip.
Isn't 90 out of 100 people dying bad enough, though?
Yeah, but what if the other 10 suddenly won the lottery?
Was that worth the...
Well, as Tenmyuji is pointing out, if you could go back in time to fix your mistake, you're not fixing the mistake.
Oh, you're also fixing the good thing or everything else that happened?
No, you have no effect on your timeline.
Oh, like that.
You create another one, apparently.
Maybe one of them fell in love with a woman working at a gas station they stopped at and had a child.
See? They created a pumpkin. Did I know they were gonna say this? Maybe I more fidgetingly told myself.
You can write that down. There were pumpkins. You called it. You called it.
No, just one pumpkin. It's important.
Maybe one of them picked up a homeless kid who joined them on their adventure. That 10,000-mile journey would be full of stories. Friendships, farewells, romances. The loss of those 90 lives is horrible and unfortunate. But what would rewriting their history mean? The 9 who survived lived full lives. How could we write to just erase all that?
It was full of potentials and energy, somehow.
The survivors overcame their own misery and loss and made the best they could of the hand they'd been dealt.
Hands, you say? Hello, Snowy. Happy Sunday. How are you doing?
I'm not even gonna say it.
Suck my balls. No, suck my climb.
Isn't that worth something? Isn't that the best thing that humans can aspire to? Is there really any point to a world where everything is happy? Are people who struggle for a better life just idiots?
Oh, trust me, even if we find the cure for this virus, it's not like all of a sudden we're going to a world where everything is happy.
Well then, what is Sigma supposed to do? Just lay down, let the apocalypse happen? See, that is... They haven't said that yet, but I think that's also a great dilemma to have a philosophical debate about. But it's been used in a lot of comic books, I think, over the years. Imagine you are Superman, Tifa.
Mm-hmm.
So you have all of these powers. Exactly. Now, tomorrow, right now, while you're sitting here, living your life, out there at the corner, a truck hits a kid, the kid dies.
Mm.
Because you took a day off. If you have the ability to prevent bad things from happening, are you morally required to do them? Because Sigma supposedly has the ability to make sure that the human Holocaust there doesn't happen. So that 99% of humans don't have to die because of something he can somehow find a way to prevent. Now, does that mean that he should do it?
Well, Tenmyuji is probably thinking in the whole oh, I found Quark and we build a life and what's gonna happen to that?
Plus, that's the question that I find very interesting to argue. What they're talking about is the fact that it doesn't change anything for them. Because if you go back in time and change something, it creates another timeline, then that means all of the things they've seen, all of the things they've done still happen. It's just that when Sigma goes back and fixes things, this new timeline doesn't go through all of this. But that doesn't mean it never happened.
But why don't we just say that? Because in this case, their lives will continue as it is, which is what he wants. And he can try to make this life better, I guess, if that's what he wants.
Yes.
But we do create a different future for the rest to...
Yeah, but the question still remains. If you have the ability to do something, to prevent something bad from happening, do you have to do it?
Have? No.
Do you have to do it? Yes.
Of course you don't have to.
If 8 billion people's lives are at stake.
I don't really think you ever have to do it. It might feel like it, but you can still choose not to.
Basically, Sigma creates a single happy timeline. Well, infinite ones. If we go back to what Phi explained to us, every time somebody does something or makes a choice, it creates a potential split in the timeline. It's just that none of us will be able to experience that other than our very own. Sigma can, because he can go back in time, make a different choice, boom, he gets to live both of them. So...
For better
Yeah.
or for worse.
But which timeline is the real one?
I would say they're all real.
I think that's the problem that's gonna mess with your head if you have these abilities.
If you keep jumping, yeah.
Yeah, because, like, that's also what happened at the end. Well, the end part in the Phi ending, where Sigma was like, well, yeah, we did this, and then Akane was like, no, you didn't. Not this time. You did it then, in a different timeline, but not here. So it's like
just a whole new branch of potential timelines where things don't happen, but they do all live their own lives and live their... What do you call it? Line?
commit a
Flow?
heinous crime and
Whatever.
jump to another timeline. Did this actually happen? Well,
Yes, but not
yes. It's just
for the
that
rest.
it's just that when you jump back and don't do it, nobody is in your new reality to be a witness to this.
It only affects the other people.
Yeah.
But you did still do it.
This is why, like, all of talking about this as a thought experiment, that's fun to me. That can do it all day. But thinking about this from a physics standpoint, it just breaks my brain. Like, how can there be more than one reality on a physical level? You know?
Well, there's also another reality somewhere where we actually beat this game in 20 hours.
Yeah, that's true. I don't want to live in that timeline though.
Being human is about fighting, even when it seems hopeless, and finding happiness, even in a world that hates it. Are you saying that's worthless? If you're saying rewriting the past will erase all these other timelines, then whatever God wrote those rules can Look, I'm just not going to accept that, all right? You get it?
If Sigma changes the past, then you and Quark will never meet.
See?
If that's how that were to work, potentially yes.
I doubt it does, because otherwise you can't keep jumping into them. Then some of the flows you jumped into just wouldn't exist
See,
at that point.
That's the thing. Akane said something that we didn't talk about. In this whole game, we were told we're jumping, or we have seen different timelines. Yes?
Yeah.
Akane said it different, and I don't know if that is like a translation error or just like a semantics thing, and I'm being anal about it. But she said you can travel parallel dimensions.
Yes, I consider it the same thing.
No, there's a difference. Because when we played the game now, after we were done with the first round through it, we jumped to specific points in the flow.
Yes.
At the very end of each flow to continue where we left off there.
Yes.
Right?
So you consider that the timeline and the other flows the parallel universes?
No. If you jump to a different flow at the end of a flow that you have witnessed so far, that would...
Wait, how about we grab a flow and
Yes.
you can show how you mean it. Might be easier.
So, what we've done is we were here, yeah?
At the Luna
And then we
end
jumped
picture.
there, for example.
Where's your mouse?
We jumped from here to there.
Okay.
If we do this because both of these exist at the same time, I would argue it's a parallel dimension or universe, whatever. Okay? If, however, we didn't jump from here to there, but we jumped from here all the way here, and then made these choices to end up, well, here, then all we did technically is go back in our timeline and make different choices.
Yeah, and then create a new universe.
Yes, but
The moment you jump back, you create a new
Honest
timeline.
Psycho put it better than I did. Travel from point A to point B is different than from A to P.
Yes.
If you can travel from A to B, I would argue both of them keep existing parallel to each other. And if you go back and then go the other route, for all we know, they didn't, because we were not able to witness them.
I see what you mean, but I really think it will still be there. You're just creating infinite lives. Like, this will still go on, this will go on, like all of these go on. You just might not be able to jump back to them at some point because your body might not be there anymore. If it's like an end where you die.
Good thing time travel is not a thing and we will never have to actually consider it.
I'm quite happy about that.
But I do, however, want a happy ending where Sigma Zero managed to prevent the apocalypse. And
it's gonna be the last
can I already
game.
write this one down as a prediction for the last game?
No, it's too early for that.
I'm writing it down anyway.
It's way too early to already come with predictions for that.
I want the following to happen and I predict it will happen.
If you're gonna go with a happy end, I'm not...
In Zero Time Dilemma, that's the last game, right? There's gonna be an ending where Tenmiyuji / Junpei and Akane have a kid and they're gonna call the kid Quark.
Well, go for it. The way I see it, if I had the choice to drink coffee and not tea, the timeline where I drank tea is basically fiction, is not real. But no point breaking your head about it.
Exactly.
I currently, like in IRL, I do believe that. In the game, I would think we have a branch where you made the choice and you have one psycho drinking tea and probably one drinking coffee.
Exactly. I guess. Alright, so let's do this.
Is he right?
Nobody knows.
No, it's not gonna happen. We're here right now. This is reality. Even if Sigma does change the past, we're not just gonna disappear or something.
Is he talking shit about Back to the Future? That's how that works, man.
Then that means we get to stay together? Good.
Thanks, kid.
I understand how you feel. Why you want to return to Earth is clear. You have lives there, I imagine. There are likely people waiting for you.
See?
Right.
Uh-huh.
Have you already said goodbye to the others?
Bye, Luna, Alice, and Clover all saw us off. We told them we'd see him again someday, and then came here.
They were the only people you want to say goodbye to?
Well, no point saying anything to Dio.
Besides, he's asleep.
What about Akane?
Just give him an extra kick.
What about Akane? What about Phi?
You were asleep too.
Sorry, but we didn't really know much about you.
You have a point. Akane was in the armor in this timeline, after all. What about Sigma?
Well, he's not really Mr. Sigma anymore.
Of course. He is Dr. Climb now that his consciousness has returned.
Yeah, but more importantly, he's the guy who brought us all here. Not a lot of warm feelings there, you know?
Understandable.
But it needed to happen, kind of, didn't it, in a second?
Yeah, but that doesn't mean you have to like it. How would you like it if you were used as collateral damage, basically?
Yeah, you have a point.
And Akane?
Never mind her. She's just like him. Not the Akane I knew. She must have seen some pretty awful things over the years. Hell, she might not even be human anymore. But the Akane Kurashiki I know isn't here. She's not anywhere.
See? Too much time
In the
passed.
end,
Yeah.
Clover and I were just pawns. Pawns to be used and then gotten rid of.
This timeline stays the same for everyone else. This AB game was a kidnapping. Hard feelings are justified. Yeah.
All of this was 7 people being abducted. Or 6 people. Kay was already here. 6 people. 5. Luna was already here. A bunch of people being abducted and manipulated so that the greater good can be achieved by one person.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You might not
it's a
really
shitty
care
feeling.
that much about the greater good if you're being tortured or something.
Yeah. To create a timeline they will never experience.
And they will never get something out of it in this life, yeah. I mean, it's really hard to care about another timeline
Yeah, but you have no concept of, other than being told, oh, but there will be a version of you that will really appreciate that. And it's not like you can explain that to them either.
Mm.
Still, it's not like we're completely resentful. We had to be here to help change the past. That part's easy to understand. But...
Kinda sucks, though.
Easy.
Clover said it.
I mean, Sigma and Phi have it easy. They get to go back to December 25th in 2028. They'll stop the Radical Six and save the world, and then they'll have a nice, normal future to look forward to. In other words, they get to go back to Point E and just enjoy history like it was supposed to happen.
But we don't. We're stuck with Point C as our starting point.
You told us about Tenmyoji's story, right? The one with the motorcycles? It would be like if Alice and I were kidnapped right before the intersection. Then whoever grabbed us takes us to wherever the bikers are going, 10,000 miles to the northwest.
Don't get us wrong. We know why we had to be here.
Are you okay?
No, I'm not. My stomach isn't for some reason. Maybe it's for time travel.
It's making you nauseous. It's all the jumping.
Apparently it is. No, but for real, I don't think Clover has actually thought about what has happened yet. Or at least she didn't have a reaction to it that I would have.
It's a lot to process.
I mean, besides the whole fact that Earth is destroyed, 45 years have passed. I'd wager that her brother is dead.
I think it helps that these two are together.
Yeah, but still, it's the whole, oh, you've woken up 100 years in the future, everybody you knew is dead.
And I don't think that's something they considered yet.
Yeah, no, I don't think that has settled in yet.
Without us, S's consciousness wouldn't have been able to go back to right before the intersection.
If that couldn't happen, then the fate of those 90 dead bikers would be sealed. But...
It's still not the best situation for those of us left in the Northwest. We're stuck in the reality where the 90 bikers died.
Snake could still be alive. I mean, there's an extremely small chance.
He would be well into his 70s by now. Wasn't he like... Wasn't he like in his mid-20s? Late 20s? Early 30s? Something like that? He's older than Clover.
If he's alive, yeah.
Yeah.
Are we just supposed to go live on Earth? It's a wasteland now. And what about our friends and families?
Here we go.
We left a whole world behind 45 years ago.
Imagine, assuming they are even still alive because they didn't die during everything that has happened.
I probably wouldn't even really process that fact until I maybe saw like friends and family 45 years older. Until then, I have a feeling I might react like Clover.
Yeah, it's such an alien concept.
Yeah, kind of.
Even if it is for the greater good?
It just doesn't seem fair, does it?
Yeah, it's a little bit much.
So we went and talked to the old lady.
She told us that there is one way.
One way we could get back to the past.
Let's say you do go back to the past.
How do they get to go back?
Wouldn't that cause your minds to get thrown back here? That seemed to be how Sigma and Phi's jumps worked, at least.
Yes, you're right.
But this is different.
Different? How so?
From what she said, it sounds like there's a way we can send our bodies back in time too.
What?
Bodies? I mean, Akane is capable of doing so.
Oh, true. We never talked about the like quantum statiness of Akane.
I'm just throwing
How can
it
she
on
have a body in
Akane
two?
Has achieved godhood, but if she can, technically others could too.
True. Forget about the whole AB project and all of that stuff. But how?
I swear to God, if this is how Alice ends up with his mummy. If
Wait.
that is how it will connect the loop,
She could.
it could actually happen.
She actually could.
Remember how Clover tried to reach out to her brother? Maybe it wasn't Sigma and Phi absorbing Esper abilities. I think Kyle was slurping it up.
Well, or Alice.
Alice is probably going to be nuts. Like, she manages to jump, then she jumps too far in the past.
And becomes a priestess in Egypt.
Becomes a priestess, but still remembers everything. So she tries to like freeze her body to wake up in the future. And that's how the whole thing is connected. That would be so...
But what?
I don't think I can accept that.
Okay.
But let's see.
That's ridiculous. It would create a paradox.
Yeah, exactly.
You have 2 Clovers and 2 Alices at the same time.
But that wouldn't happen.
Akane says there's a way around that.
What?
How on earth does she plan to do that?
Schrodinger's?
Cat.
But
Oh, hey, Kyle.
we're just gonna leave it at that. Okay, fine. Sure.
My brain hurts. I think I need a short break.
BRB.
BRB.
I'll take it. And we are back.
We are. With bad news apparently. My point was that Clover can't communicate with Snake if Snake is dead.
You're right, I didn't even
Yeah.
think of that.
I liked my idea that Alice is absorbing her power somehow much better.
Or it's just
Yeah.
a distance. I mean, Earth, Moon.
True.
There's also, I want to believe there is only so much or how so far you could reach.
It's a morphogenetic field,
I mean,
not space elevator. I'm just hoping Snake is still around somewhere. Oh, hey, Kyle.
Figured you'd come here eventually.
Where's Dr. Klein? Luna said you were with him.
He said he was tired, so he's off resting right now.
makes sense.
Yeah.
There's a bedroom at the end of the hallway. He's in there if you're curious. Oh, right. He told me to turn on this hologram projector thing when you showed up. Want me to start it?
Sure.
I feel so bad for Kyle. Like,
Glad to see you. There isn't anything in particular that I have to tell you. However, I imagine there are a great number of things weighing on your mind.
Yeah, like, why can't you tell me this in person?
also, who is Phi?
Why do we need to talk to you through a projector?
Who is Phi? And who is Phi?
All of Clover's powers being siphoned to power Alice's cleavage. I think there's more than just Clover's power in that, but...
Every timeline's Clover. Mm-hmm.
I'd love to answer all your questions, but unfortunately, my circumstances make that an impossibility. I hope you can forgive me.
No.
We can literally talk to you. Why do we have to go through the projector? This makes no sense.
Everything I know, Phi should also know. I have instructed her to answer any questions anyone might have. Anyone other than Kyle, that is.
What?
We are Kyle.
A fun note, but I love Kyle's voice actor and how he has the same almost robotic intonation a lot of the time. Like Kay. I wonder if that was done on purpose. Like one was matching the other, or they were told just talk like this.
That could be. Makes sense.
I mean, Kay
What does
has
he mean, other than Kyle?
grown up only around robots. You know?
Akane also talks a bit robot-y. The old Akane.
Yeah, I think if you've seen some shit, it changes how you communicate.
Yeah, I guess, but I do like the voice acting of the younger Akane better than the older one.
Yeah,
I
but
can
he often doesn't
understand,
give a fuck.
but it's very
Like, he doesn't give a shit.
monotone.
It's like, this needs to happen. Do it. Do the
Yeah.
thing. I'll tell you what you need to know.
It makes sense after everything they had to do.
Who knows? Is there anything you want to ask?
Oh, right, well, I guess I may as well cut to the chase. Just who are you, Phi?
Thank you.
you.
Kyle?
Kyle asking the questions as well.
I like you. Yeah.
I'm not Superman, that's for sure.
Are you Ramen?
And I'm not Batman or Spider-Man or Aquaman or a merman or a wolfman. I'm not a Brahmin or Kamen or Ramen.
Well, it's
I'm
like,
not a Cayman either, so you really don't need to worry about anything.
all right.
Not again.
Yeah, do it. Come on.
We keep going into this.
Hit me with it.
Please don't dodge the question. About 5 hours ago, Akane attacked you with a knife. That triggered something which sent your mind back to the past, correct? Specifically, you were sent to Point D, April 13th, 2029. On that date, your body was already in Akane's custody. Although by then you were in cold sleep. You wouldn't have regained consciousness, but your mind was now inhabiting that body. That pod was your home for 45 years. You slept there, frozen, until the time was right. Then on January 25th, 2074, you were finally thawed out, even though you didn't wake up. Still unconscious, you were carried to the AB room. That was when your consciousness changed bodies again.
Wait.
Yes, go for it.
Do you think if Phi keeps being a bitch about this and doesn't answer the question, Kyle is gonna end the conversation by telling her, "Be gone, thought"? THAWED. You know the expression "be gone, thought"?
No.
A thought?
No.
THOT? That hoe over there?
No.
I had a moment of greatness here.
So I guess I need to be happy I didn't know. It's okay.
Your boo can't hurt me. I'm protected.
It bounced off. You know, Psycho's boo bounced back to Matanart, who reflected the boo.
Back into me? Yeah, fine, okay, whatever.
Nice try, though.
I'll keep trying.
A version of you from December 25th, 2028 arrived, pushing you out.
That's when we saved
Sending you
Akane,
back
right?
to December 25th, 2028. This is when you finally woke up. In 2028, you found and joined forces with Sigma, whose older mind was inhabiting his younger body. Together, you attempted to infiltrate the Mars mission test facility. Unfortunately, your plan failed. The Radical Six did escape on New Year's Eve.
I'm still so confused.
That failure determined the path you followed. Instead of going along the line that branches out to the right from Point E, you headed straight to Point D. Point D being April 13th of the following year. That was the day that you made your way to Akane's hideout and asked to be put into one of the treatment pods. Another consciousness enters your body around that time from the future. It is, of course, the version of you that left your body when Akane attacked you in the garden. This caused the two versions of you to swap places, and you moved 45 years into the future, where you woke up on the garden floor. That put you on the line that comes here. So if we discount the time you spent in cold sleep, for you, only 3.5 months have passed since that happened. That being when you were sent back into the past from the garden. Have I missed anything?
No, everything you talked about, you got right.
I would love it if when they talk about this on the Nevada test site rhizome map thing, they draw an actual line. Like, you went from here to there, then there, and now we're
to
here.
visualize when they...
Because
yeah, that makes sense.
I understood the words individually, but...
That would actually be handy.
yeah.
Well, what do you mean by that?
I'm kind of an unknown variable in this equation. You could think of me as a kind of X factor.
That's my favorite letter.
It's taken me the last 3.5 months to understand it.
I haven't understood anything in the last 3.5 seconds.
Okay.
Same. Same.
I feel that.
Could you please explain?
Yeah, please. Please do.
It's kind of like the relationship between classical mechanics and modern physics. Strictly speaking, you can't combine velocities with v1 plus v2.
What?
v1
v1 plus v2 divided by 1 plus v1 times v2 over c squared is the actual equation.
What?
Let me repeat. I didn't understand anything from the last 3.5 seconds.
Can we go back to talking English, please? Like what?
Of course, the sort of velocities we encounter in day-to-day life don't come close to being c squared, which is the speed of light squared. That means that 1 plus v1 times v2 divided by c squared is usually going to evaluate to something pretty close to 1. Since that would mean dividing by 1, it's usually okay to just skip that step and use v1 plus v2.
Just so you know, I'm kind of zoning out here. Can we have like an example after this?
When you voice a character like this, professionally, do you have to understand what you're saying? Or do you just have to make it sound like the character does? Like, do you just have to act the confidence?
Sorry.
It's fine, math does that to me too.
Yeah, someone is taking the piss here.
What?
Because I don't see it.
I can't even lean back for this, I need to keep sitting like super straight. So somehow when we... Like, you okay there?
Yeah, I...
Math, it's getting in my throat. Okay. Yeah, speed, velocity, whatever. Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
No.
Not one bit.
In most situations, it works, even if it isn't technically correct. So you knew enough to get the stuff you were talking about right. As long as you stick to that, you won't run into any problems.
I don't quite understand.
Thank you.
In fact, I feel like you're dodging my questions.
Yeah.
So was that what you wanted to ask about?
I like Kyle.
No. What I really want to know is what happened between Christmas and New Year's Eve in 2028. You and Sigma infiltrated the Mars mission test site, didn't you?
Yes.
What happened there? How did Sigma lose his eye and both his arms? And why was Radical 6 in there in the first place? What could a deadly virus have to do with the simulated mission to space?
And more importantly, if Sigma, that is going into the test site, knows all of these things, and like he doesn't know everything because that's not the 67-year-old, that's the 20-something-year-old, okay? But he has mastered the jumps, right?
Yeah.
That was the point of the game. But why doesn't he jump back into his body before he entered, and then he knows where the frickin' traps are?
I think you're now overthinking it. Like they could jump in a lot of different times and places.
If you make time travel a thing, it's like... I had interviews in which the actor that plays Sheldon said he just needed to memorize all his lines and he repeated them over and over while not understanding half of them. So probably not. They don't need to understand everything. Okay. Just
like confidence, yeah.
95% of the time. Okay. Yeah, that works for me.
That works with everything, really.
Sorry, but I can't tell you that.
Why?
Because you need to play the last game for that.
Yeah, please give us $60.
Because it would change history. There is a history where the virus didn't escape. That's the line that goes to the right of point E. In that timeline, humanity isn't heading for annihilation, and Earth isn't red. The future is much brighter. But if I tell you what you're asking me right now, then that reality will disappear. You understand?
No.
Why would all of that disappear if you told me what I want to know?
You're about to go back to the past, right?
The past? Don't be silly. I can't do that.
Then where the hell did you learn all this stuff? I just listened to you tell me a bunch of things you shouldn't have known about. You were sleeping in the pod in the garden. You just woke up. So how can you know all this? You know my past. Sigma's past.
Yeah. How do you know, Kyle?
He was traveling along with Sigma.
I'll just leave.
Bye.
Your answer.
Oh, thank you.
Like how he just walked off there, though. Like mid-sentence, it's like...
Yeah, ultimate introvert Kyle. Just... Bye. Just leaves. Exit frame right.
Didn't even say bye.
You are not Kyle Climb.
You are...
Your body is Kyle's, but your consciousness is not. Think about it. Do you really believe you are Kyle? Or could you be someone else entirely?
Then
Is he Sigma?
where is the real Kyle's consciousness?
Yeah.
And who am I? How about we ask first, who am I? I like how the name is now gone.
Yeah.
Now it's question mark again.
He was thrown out when you entered. Right now, in a manner of speaking, he has arrived at December 25th, 2028. His consciousness has gone into a body from that time. I doubt you know how much the Doctor loves Kyle.
So he is Sigma. What?
He raised him on his own. Kyle is irreplaceable.
I'm just gonna press A.
Yeah, please.
Do you really think he would go back to the past and leave Kyle behind here? I know what I told the others, that Kyle was Dr. Climb's spare. But that was not his only purpose.
What?
Kyle's consciousness is integral to what we are trying to accomplish. This new mission begins on Christmas and ends on New Year's Eve 2028. Its purpose will be to infiltrate the test facility and prevent the spread of the virus. For this to happen, Kyle is absolutely necessary.
And that is why he created it?
Okay.
Yes.
So now that my consciousness has entered his body, the Doctor has achieved his objective. Kyle has gone back to 2028 to participate in his mission.
Who the fuck is Kyle?
That's a good question. Do you remember the code? Would you please?
Yes,
Oh,
I love
yeah.
Klim. Just beautiful because it was Luna and she had a thing for him. And it all makes sense.
Did not consider that at all, but we were told that earlier. Sorry, I was trying to think of something and my brain just clashed there.
Who is Kyle? And who is now in Kyle? What?
It's not making sense right now.
Wait. Wait.
What?
I know who Kyle is now. He's left.
Left? Why would Kyle be left? Jack called it a few streams ago. The player is an actual character in the game. Kyle is the consciousness that once was in the current body we're in. He's Sigma's clone. We are, question mark.
What?
This was your plot twist where you went like, oh, we as the player are the higher being. But it doesn't really make sense. And we're in Kyle's body.
When did we get a body? Because to jump bodies we have to have a body. What? Carry on, maybe when Akane explains it will make sense.
You did call that part.
I mean, yeah, I'm super happy about that,
One
but
thing that troubles me.
I still don't get it.
But yeah, the fact that we are now in a body as a actual thing is a bit confusing.
Kyle was created before reaching point B from point D. That means his body did not exist on Christmas in 2028.
Yes, exactly. What?
Does that mean he has entered my body? Have we just switched places?
I suppose you could put it that way, yes.
That's ridiculous.
So we are
What
Sigma.
happened to me?
I'm a bit confused right now.
You telling me I have to spend the rest of my life here in this box, living in a borrowed body?
No, not at all. You can travel freely through time and space. You are an uncontrolled variable that entered our closed system.
We're not even supposed to be here, so We literally are the player that just took over this body. And pushed
what?
Thingy out, I guess.
We're watching and functioning with Sigma, and now we have our own body, which is how Kyle knows all. I get, like, the whole Kyle is the player is cool, but... What?
I think you just gotta accept that we let go of Sigma at this point, because we don't know what Sigma is doing. We were the higher being that was latched onto Sigma and traveled along. Now we left Sigma alone.
The rules of this world do not apply to you.
Now we left Sigma alone because we have no clue what he's doing at the moment, and we just went into an empty body, which is Kyle.
I feel really bad for Kay, or the original Kyle, because where'd he go?
He is pushed back into the past somewhere.
I have no idea what...
Please don't try to play dumb. I know what you are. Surely you must know by now, too. You are about to go into the past and save the world.
What?
Okay, so...
Phi and Sigma, even with all of his future knowledge, will need your help. Only you can right the horrible wrongs of our past. Only you can save the world.
What if we don't want to?
Then we don't.
There's no way I...
Yes, there is. You have to. Don't you want to know the truth? Don't you want to know what happened in between Christmas and New Year's Eve in 2028?
Well, yes, I do, but...
Then you must believe. Reality is shaped by what we believe reality should be. If observation can change the motion of a particle, then how is it odd to think that human thought can shape reality?
You
Your
what, mate?
will can change history. The world will be reshaped into the one you imagine.
I'm not sure how after all of this we're still gonna make a third game.
They changed some things from what they plan to do in the third game, so don't be surprised that some things might not add up with what happens here. Yeah, I find that slightly annoying. We're a spectator in this game and we switched consciousnesses with Kyle. This implies that the one controlling Sigma in Zero Time Dilemma is Kyle. But yeah, it's all non-canon.
I'm not sure I like where we went now, but I guess it's
But
to get more answers.
where did Sigma go? What? I'm confused.
Remember what I've told you. Only you can change history. Only you can save the world.
I like the idea of... Guess that's not the... Alternative end. Okay. I would have liked the idea if they went with like, well, this is how we break the fourth wall to tell you, the player, to do these things.
Let's have a quick double check that we
Oh, that was the Akane ending.
actually got. Okay, we also got the Akane ending.
We got two Akane endings.
Makes sense, I guess. Okay, we do actually have all of the... Oh,
Yeah, that's
now you
normal.
go. Yeah.
Does the intro change now? I feel like it should.
Why would it suddenly change? We don't have any new images they could post here.
That's why it starts with that too. Now I get it. Because at the beginning of the game, Sigma from the future jumps into this body.
Yeah.
So you're seeing memories of that Sigma. And then the Sigma you see on screen in those shots travels into the time of the game.
Yeah, that was now all explained. Okay, we got some answers. I'm not sure how they would, like I said, make a whole third game about what still needs to be done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But we did it, hey?
I am so confused. Do you
I
still
think
want
the
to
whole
quickly
counting fucked you up.
look at the gold files?
I guess we can go through a few.
Where was the part of the game with the good music? I mean, a lot of it did, but how about... Did security have good music?
I do not remember. I don't remember the music in whichever area.
For third game, I suggest you remember the rings she wears. I already forgot about them. I
only saw one, like, silver or iron ring.
Yeah, we got some chill music here. So...
Are there, like, a couple good ones that we should look at?
Yes,
there's...
all of them.
What? All of them?
16 pages. Let's have a look.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
The AB room is where you play the AB game. It appears to be an elevator car. There are 6 AB rooms in the warehouse on floor A. On the left, they're referred to as first, second, third, etc. The interior of each room is identical to the others, with a voting device on the wall and a hatch in the ceiling.
Like, that's what I mean. That's just boring. And not the... wait, I can control them like this.
This refers to the door of the AB room. Most elevator doors open horizontally, but this one opens and closes vertically. Most elevators also include a safety feature that prevents the door from closing if anything obstructs it. These doors have no such safety feature.
Well, that answers that. But seriously, is there like a best of golden files to not go through the entire game explanation?
Each participant... I don't care. Each participant has a bracelet attached to their left wrist. If a participant breaks the rules or fails to fulfill certain conditions, then... Okay, how about we go through them, check if there's something that we actually don't know yet, and then we only actually pay attention to these. Because it seems like a lot of the golden files, at least so far, just explain the game mechanics, which
they
is
give
neat.
you extra info that you might not know at that point when you got it.
Yeah, give me this because I'm the one reading. Unless you want to read some.
We can swap them one by one. We know that.
Wait. AI is short for artificial insemination, which is a process by which eggs are fertilized without the use of a male organ. It is commonly used in the breeding of dairy, cattle and pigs, but has also been... I'm being told that in this case AI stands for artificial intelligence, which is another thing entirely. Okay.
I mean, that was very close.
Words 0 the third says before he leaves. There are a few variations. Have a nice trick. Have a nice trap. Have a nice traitor.
These are all from the first room.
Okay, also we need the titles. Otherwise this doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I guess. Quantum computer.
A device built by Tom Kwan, a Boise, Idaho commuter. That's actually a lie. A quantum computer is a highly advanced machine that uses quantum phenomena such as superposition and entanglement to perform calculations. Let's say, for example, that you want to determine the prime factors of 5183. A Van Neumann-style computer, let's call him Paul, would say, can I divide by 2, 3, 5, and just run through numbers like that until it got the answer. Mr. Kwan, on the other hand, the computer, not the imaginary commuter, would just look at 5183 and say, obviously it's 71 times 73. A traditional computer with n bits can only be in one of 2 times 2 to the nth power states at once, but a quantum computer with n qubits can be in 2 to n states simultaneously. This means a quantum computer can complete calculations that are currently impossible. That's amazing, Mr. Kwan. Are you seeing anybody?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't really care.
Is that really how that was built?
I have a feeling no.
Someone has written 2 milkmen go comedy on the wall in the warehouse on floor A. Presumably it refers to a pair of milkmen visiting a comedy club. The sentence construction was obviously wrong. There must be a reason why.
Made sense to me.
Yeah. What's the Nonary Game? It's a deadly game.
Skip.
Nonary Game rules.
Skip.
We know those. Supplementary rules. We've known these as well.
Skip.
Parent solo. Cool. BP. Yeah. Number 9 door. This door is found in the warehouse on floor A. Anyone with 9 or more BP can open the door and escape the Nonary Game. So in a sense, this door could be considered the ultimate goal of the participants. Once the number 9 door closes after someone with 9 BP has opened it, there's no way to open it again. During his explanation, Zero the Third said the number 9 door cannot stay open for more than 9 seconds. This is not strictly correct, however. The time period Zero the Third is referring to is the time when the door is fully open. It means, if one takes into account the time when the door is opening and when it's closing. Now I'm doing the thing I always get Tifa shit for. I'm sorry for complaining when you press buttons accidentally.
I know you will do it again.
It is open for somewhat more than 9 seconds. Also,
makes sense.
Real quick, is it 9 seconds radical 6 brain time or 9 seconds real time?
9 seconds to what you perceive, I would say. So radical 6 time.
Okay. Total lunar eclipse.
Skip.
We know about that. Sopiral beta. One of the drugs used by the Nonary bracelets, an extremely powerful anesthetic. It is the first drug injected when a participant breaks one of the rules. This drug also appeared in Virtuous Last Reward's sister title. 9 hours, 9 persons, 9 doors. It was created by Mr. H, who was the president of Cradle Pharmaceuticals and appeared in 999. He developed it by extracting and purifying an alkaloid from a variety of mandrake. High usage can lead to some side effects, including severe memory loss. It can also be aerosolized and used as an anesthetic or knockout gas.
Very handy.
I like how it didn't say prequel, but sister title. So on purpose, to confuse us.
Translation thing, maybe.
Tubocurarine, one of the drugs used by the Nonary bracelets. Causes the respiratory muscles to cease functioning. We know all of these things. It's not clear if the Nonary Game facility has any of these antidote available. Yes, it did. ADAM.
Yes, I know
Acronym
that.
for the Automatic Diagnosis and Analysis Machine. They say that?
Yeah.
Can perform a virtual autopsy to determine the cause of death.
Nothing new. Also nothing new.
Newspaper we know about. Pandemic we know about. Radical 6. If you want to know what Radical and 6 mean, you'll just have to play the game and find out.
I still don't know what the 6 mean. Actually, that was explained, I think.
A powerful syringe that uses easily swappable vials. Some of these golden vials are like taking the piss. Okay, there are chromatic doors.
Can
There
skip
are
to. Oh,
more.
there's the color codes.
Oh yeah.
They said sister title to avoid using prequel or sequel because it's early golden file.
Fair
Yeah,
enough.
I guess that makes sense.
You can do this one. In Quark voice.
I don't have a quirk for it. A collection of films that Tenmyuji has gathered. Their content isn't really explicit per se, but they still aren't really appropriate for someone Quark's age. It should be noted that the term does not imply the videos contain grandpas or grandpa-like actors.
Everybody likes their own thing. It's the ratio of time, Tifa. Radical 6, square root of 6. Oh, Sabes.
I recall that was actually explained.
Sabes, if you can hear me right now, this is the moment. Why is the game Virtue's Last Reward called that? Because what does it mean?
Now
Fun
you
fact,
can tell us, yeah.
Since leftist psychic, he knew about Radical 6, so the bomb time is also set to our 30 minutes and not real 30 minutes.
That's considerate, isn't it?
That's really sweet. Yes, imagine.
Like I wouldn't.
Sigma's cat problem. Sigma has a strange verbal and possibly psychological tic, which causes him to make cat puns whenever he talks about cats. The cause of his behavior seems to be an experience he had as a child. When Sigma was in preschool, there was a deserted house near his school that everyone called the Cat Mansion. He always loved cats, so every day he would visit the Cat Mansion and give the cats that lived there some of his lunch. That is adorable,
Yeah, that's really
and more
sweet.
people should be doing this. One day he realized that he could understand what the cats were saying to one another. A magical black cat appeared and told him that it had given him this gift in exchange for giving food to its fellows. But the magical cat said,
Just click left.
"You can
Correct.
never tell anyone about your gift." The magical black cat warned, "If you do, you'll be cursed." But young Sigma was so happy about his newfound ability that he slipped and told a girl about it, so the black cat cursed him. His curse was to speak only in cat puns for the rest of his life. His curse was to... better said that. Fortunately for him, a magical white cat came along soon afterward, felt the curse was a little too harsh and lessened it, so that he would only talk in cat puns when he talked about cats. And they lived happily ever after.
What the fuck is this?
I think somebody was
cute, isn't it?
huffing the Soporil beta.
I mean, you gotta come with something. This is all stuff they actually wanted to put in the game, but then someone was like, oh, this doesn't work. Just make it a secret file.
Yeah. Phone. Why don't you try numbers like 5309 or 6969?
Oh, that's how you're actually...
We did that. Yeah. This is Pokédex levels of shitposting. Yeah, it is.
Only a couple of them, though, can skip.
We learned the lore behind golems.
Cannot skip that.
We also learned what
That's Cockney's
golems
explanation.
We did learn about the Chinese room, more than I ever cared actually. The Turing test, in my own and shorter words, is a test to check if you are talking to a man or a machine.
We also got that.
Yes. Basically every time you at home are using a chatbot and you realize this is an AI, it failed the Turing test.
Next.
More AB rules.
Next.
Golems are robots developed and sold by an American corporation called Hephaestus Systems. Some of the units in this facility, however, have had their software significantly enhanced by Zero Senior. A portion of them has also been given ABT, created by Zero Senior. Incidentally, ABT is short for Artificial Biological Tissue, and it's important that we read this one because if in the next game Hephaestus Systems shows up, or Hephaestus,
And we don't remember.
I will. You read that one.
Okay, so the title. Virtue reward would mean a reward for being a good person, but last reward suggests death. Together it basically says to anyone who's about to play and is smart enough with this game that it rewards being good with death.
Okay. Alright. That... I like 999 better, because there were 9 people, 9 doors, and we had 9 hours. That made sense to me.
It rewards being good with death. Did
Yes.
we die in all the good?
Everybody dies.
No, we died mainly in the betray ones.
Yeah, but throughout the story, everybody dies at some point. Not
I mean, that
even
is
talking
true.
about the billions of people on Earth. So, you know.
I mean, I do kind of like it, but yeah, 999 was much more straightforward in the title.
Yeah, yeah.
If I had to pick, I do prefer that one.
But it does sound cool. Virtue's last reward.
It does sound really cool. That's
It has a
true.
nice ring to it.
Yeah.
The gist of Golem's somewhat rambling explanation is that the center of thought doesn't necessarily have to reside in the body. In the case of Golem, the self clearly resided in the mainframe and operated the body remotely. Since a self-aware robot could exist this way, he theorized, what would prevent humans from doing the same? If humans are actually being controlled by an outside force, and is there actually any such thing as free will? The Sims, basically. What if you were controlled, Tifa?
Don't think that person could handle it.
Wound 1 and Wound 2. Those are
Can
the
skip
wounds
those.
we found on people. Coroner. Not to be confused with a corner. A coroner is a government official who assists law enforcement by investigating the causes of death and dealing with the paperwork and logistics surrounding corpses. It can also be used colloquially to refer to someone who performs these duties, whether or not they're actually employed by the government. As I said, it wasn't that interesting and it wasn't a spoiler. Interesting, yes. Spoiler, a little bit. I mean...
Well, it depends on when you learn this. Like, if you hear
Yeah.
about it in the beginning, could be a spoiler.
Yeah, it implies death for everybody. A lot. Yeah.
It tells you to be good.
An autopsy is a post-mortem surgery that examines a body in detail. It's also super gross, Tifa.
Why?
Because the game says so.
Well, I disagree.
Luminol is an organic compound with a chemical formula C8H7N3O2. When mixed with hydroxide salt and hydrogen peroxide, it will glow blue when it comes into contact with blood and certain other substances. This property has made a useful tool in ace attorney investigations, where it can reveal blood stains that have been cleaned up. Psh, 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 you remember? Keep this in mind the next time you're contemplating how to deal with the neighbors listening to death metal at 3 in the morning. I would join them, probably. Bracelet 2. At first glance, Kay's bracelet seems different from the others. Specifically, it appears to be attached to a suit. Although the design is slightly different, it is not part of a suit. The bracelet is attached directly to his wrist, with a face looking out through a hole in his armor. Just like the other bracelets, it will only come off when he escapes or when his heart stops beating.
I think we already knew that.
I didn't. Fun fact, the Tiny Dilemma Tell is actually an anagram. Won't say what it means though, because that would be a spoiler.
I don't even know what the full...
Zero time dilemma.
Oh.
Okay.
Well, I don't have shiny words or letters in front of me mixing up to solve the anagram.
Let's discuss this in, let's say, about 9 months when we've finished that game too. But I'll remember that, I hope. Where are we? Generalized amnesia. This is what we suffer sometimes. So listen up, maybe we can learn something about it. A memory condition where the sufferer retains knowledge such as language, social common sense, and so on, but memories of their own past and personality disappear. Its cause is usually psychological, but in rare cases it can be caused by a serious head trauma. Case suggested that an extremely painful breakup might have been the cause of his condition. Generalized amnesia usually requires a much more powerful trigger than breaking up with someone. Did he say that? Did he say that he has lost his memory from a breakup?
No.
I don't recall.
Don't think so. Oh yeah, you're gonna start playing ZTD immediately after, you said, right, Psycho?
Oh yeah, you have time. We will not be starting it for the next 5 or so weeks, I would imagine.
It's gonna be a while before we start that. Right away! I'm gonna stay up all night to already finish the
Remember to get some sleep in between.
You have work tomorrow, don't forget.
In fact, a painful breakup often has the opposite effect. You want desperately to forget, but find that to be impossible, which leads to all sorts of other mental disorders. Also, the person sitting behind me says...
Nomi.
Nomi? You want food? Cooked food!
I always want food.
Twice cooked pork, a Szechuan dish, is made by pan-frying pork, cabbage, bell peppers and green onions with doubanjiang or tianmianjiang for flavor. I don't know what those are. I'm guessing sauces?
Spices? I have no clue.
Paella, a Spanish dish where one cooks rice, meat, seafood and vegetables in a shallow pot, seasoned with saffron. I've had paella once and it was horrible.
I'm not a fan either, but I don't like seafood, so...
I had vegetarian paella. It was horrible. We went to that one restaurant in Barcelona when we went there years ago with your brother. And because her brother is a super picky eater, there was like one restaurant we found where we could all find something. And I think that was like instant paella. I don't know.
I think I had a pizza and it was like the small
from
frozen
a deep
pizza.
freezer. Yeah. Oh.
Nasi goreng, an Indonesian dish made with pan-fried rice seasoned with sambal, ketchup manis and terasi.
She said that in the most Dutch way possible.
Schnitzel, a German dish. It's made by mixing together meat, flour, eggs and breadcrumbs, then frying the mixture in butter or lard.
That sounds like you're chopping it all up. That's not quite the case, but... Keep reading, you can pronounce all of these.
Yeokojang, a Korean dish. The process involves stewing beef, vegetables, namu and powdered chili peppers together very slowly. The resulting meal is very spicy.
A lot of Korean food is really spicy, isn't it?
Spicier than German food at least. Hey, that's one of your favorites. Borscht. Yeah. A Russian dish. Preparation is very simple. You just stew meat and vegetables together for a long time. The finished meal is garnished with beets and sour cream.
I've made borscht 3 times in my life. The first time was like 20 years ago. I made a huge pot. It was divine. But Tifa doesn't like root beet, so I don't get to make it anymore.
You can still make it for yourself.
Tifa, I need to make like 20 liters of his stuff.
Yeah, go ahead. We have a freezer. I never stopped you from making it.
We need a specific borscht freezer.
Tom Ga Gai, a Thai dish made by stewing chicken, chili peppers, ginger and ampala in coconut milk. Very spicy.
Is it?
And I don't think we ever had that. And chef's pasta, whatever the chef feels like making. Sometimes you don't even know what's in it until you take a bite. Sometimes you don't even know then.
Blech. So basically every time I cook pasta, it's chef's pasta.
Just throw whatever you have in the cupboard.
More words Zero the Third says before it leaves. Have a nice trauma, have a nice trace. When did he say trace?
I have no clue.
Have a nice trumpet.
I also don't remember that.
Free the Soul! An emerging religious organization with a rapidly growing membership. Some figures claim the congregation numbers over 1 million in countries across the world. Originally, the organization called itself Free the Soul of Y, but later dropped off Y to simply become Free the Soul. The founder of the religion is only known as Brother, and his true identity is a mystery. Only a small number of the highest-ranking members have ever seen him. The doctrine of Free the Soul demands that its adherents separate themselves from the world, free themselves of lust, and release their souls from their physical bodies so that they can be purified. Its followers believe that they will be born again as a new race, that the world will be transformed into a place of equality with no conflict or poverty. Considering how a peaceful world of equality with no conflict or poverty usually plays out in the movies, they seem like a pretty scary group of people. Yeah, a lot of fun with these files. Yes.
To me, these files don't really do anything, honestly. If I was just playing through this game, I would probably ignore all of them.
Sour grapes. I know that's going to be awesome. Free the Soul is a powerful new religious order dedicated to establishing a new world order, aren't they all? And the Myrmidons are the elite frontline soldiers in that secret war. The general public knows nothing about the Myrmidons, but their actions have put them on watch lists of intelligence communities across the globe. Rumors say that all Myrmidons have the same face, suggesting that they may as well be clones of a single person. No one knows where this rumor comes from exactly, but I can tell you that it's a very credible source.
If no one knows, how can it be a credible source?
Brother. The founder of Free the Soul, although he prefers not to be referred to as such. As a child, he had a younger brother whom he was very fond of. Unfortunately, the worst happened and the younger brother was murdered. Rage and despair filled Brother, and for 9 days and 9 nights he was consumed by his own misery. On the morning of the 10th day, however, he had a revelation. Mankind was rife with base desires and needed to be purified so that the new world could come into being. God had spoken to Brother and given him a mission. Brother dedicated his life to realizing that mission, and at the age of 26 he established Free the Soul of Y. He claims that Y is a symbol for miracles.
Is it really?
How old was Sigma when he got transferred back into his own body at the end/beginning?
I do not know, and I also don't think it was brother or left. What was it, left?
Here is bracelet information that isn't revealed in the game. The bracelet put on the left wrists of the 9 participants in the Ambidex game has an important feature that's never mentioned. As soon as you put it on, a needle on the underside activates and inserts itself into the wearer. It doesn't necessarily mean that it injects its work, only that it activates and pierces the skin. Maybe there's something on the needle, and maybe there isn't. All that's certain is that when someone puts on the bracelet, they get poked.
You would absolutely feel that, though.
Yeah, but they're all unconscious.
Yeah, but even after, you will feel that.
No, because the bracelet moves with your arm.
You can still feel you have something in your skin.
I doubt that. No.
Yeah,
And that's how you get Radical 6. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, that does make sense.
A-B game. A is ally, B is betray. Cool.
You can absolutely feel you have a little wound.
But you don't have a wound. There's a tiny needle stuck in your arm, and when you move, you know, when you would imagine there's like pressure on it, there isn't, because it moves along with you.
Well, I guess, but still.
Have you ever had a splinter stuck somewhere and you only realized when you saw it?
I guess.
Same idea. Penalties. If you get penalized, you die. Voting machine has a touch panel. It uses a touch panel and it's not to be mistaken for an ATM, Tifa.
I was already wondering where my money went.
Hazmat suit. The manual found in the PEC contains the following text and reference to these suits. That's how they knew to use it. The canvas facility is kept in a very high pressure and...
You need to wear it
Yes.
to be able to get out.
Scotch. A type of whiskey made in Scotland. Its unique aroma comes from the peat used in its manufacture. Scotch is Tan Miyuji's favorite drink. He often claims a little scotch... Why does that feel like a tongue twister? He often claims a little scotch should scratch this itch after returning from work, which annoys Quark.
Because of the S's in a row.
Yeah, and the ch-ch-ch sounds. Also, what is peat?
I have no clue. Something in Scotch.
Root beer float, a well-known drink made by putting a scoop of vanilla ice cream in some root beer. Also known as a black cow. A black cow? Why?
I don't see the cow.
Quark has taken to saying, "Root beer floats my boat," which warms Tan Miyuji's heart. That's so sweet. Another fun fact, where Dio is about to attack Akane, Sigma comments he moves extremely fast. Since he didn't yet have a bracelet, he didn't have Radical 6. That's why he was so fast.
Oh, he didn't move extra slow. Yeah, that
And
makes
that's
sense.
where Akane is going at super high speed as well.
That makes sense. Yeah, that's why she was so fast running to fight too. That didn't even click at all. Okay, the two rooms.
A and B supposedly stand for above and below. There's a rumor that the floors were actually named after a particular Swedish pop rock group from the 70s. But everyone involved in this project has insisted that this is a violent, hurtful lie. ABBA. A, B, B, A.
Yeah, no, that level is on your... Or that joke is on your level.
I'm sorry, do you still think my lock joke was the worst possible joke anyone ever made?
Yes.
Excuse me?
Yes.
I could have been writing for this game. Research journal, no, that's Radical 6 numbers. That's still...
I think this is the bit we
involved.
read in Latin. Or Phi translated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. This is an excerpt. Jumpy doll. It sounds like someone named a doll Jumpy. But why? Yeah, why would you do it? The secret of Quark's head. This is the moment I'm living for. Tifa, this one's yours.
Don't you think his head looks kind of weird? There's that huge band that just wraps around his head. Is he hiding a pair of Ferengi ears? Or maybe he's just a young Lobot? Well, this is just between you and me, but he's got missiles in there. The side of the heads are hiding those pods like you see on helicopters or SAM sites. Except these missiles are tiny, and when he gets in trouble, both sides of the head open up and they just fly out all at once like pshh. Just kidding, actually he just keeps snacks in there. He can keep snacks in there.
Okay, let's take this from the top.
I kind of want that head.
I believe Ferengi are an alien species in Star Trek. Lobot is a character in Star Wars, in the original trilogy. He has like these things on his ears. He's a cyborg.
The only thing that's important here is that you can store snacks in the head.
So first of all, it's not just a hat, it's actually a snack storage compartment. There were fucking lunchboxes. That's genius.
So now we all need a hat like that.
I think we even said it's like a beer helmet.
It's kind of like that apparently.
Also, Akane had Radical 6? She's been cured.
Oh yeah, she had the bracelet on.
It's true. Accelerate.
So she's just fast.
An injection is the only known way to fight off Radical 6. Cool. Treatment pod. An amazing machine that augments an individual's natural ability to heal, strengthens the immune system, accelerates their metabolism, and can cure many otherwise incurable diseases. We need those in real life. In addition, it can create In addition, it can create personalized medicines, perform gene therapy, and even repair the effects of radiation damage. What an incredible machine. It's not that incredible if it can't cure Radical 6, you say? Yes, well, I guess you've got a point, but don't worry. It also has a function called cold sleep. Cold sleep uses CAS freezing to freeze the entire body without damaging it. That way, even if the disease you have can't be cured, it can be frozen until a cure is found. Exactly. If the weight added to your head would be so annoying. You have to balance the weight or you get a stiff neck. Now I take this way too serious.
I think it depends on what kind of snacks you store in there. You could put like crackers or something in there, maybe some other small things you want to carry along.
Pretzels or salt sticks, Salzstangen.
The balance and extra weight might not even be that bad. I would try it out.
I
Maybe
would
put like
love
croissants in there.
these little snack pretzels, the really hard ones, because they don't get your fingers greasy or anything. You always just have a snack.
That's handy.
The problem is, how does it open? Does it open at the front? Because then you'd have to like tilt your head back so that they don't fall out.
Well, we're only halfway through these, so go.
Cold sleep. There are generally two types of cold sleep. The first type involves lowering your internal body temperature. This reduces your basal metabolic rate and induces a state similar to hibernation, which is what Tifa does every night. In other words, your body is still actively functioning, just very slowly, like Radical 6. The other sort of cold sleep is the one in this game. This involves freezing your body to essentially lock it in whatever state it was in. Until recently, this wasn't possible, because the expansion and crystallization that took place during the freezing process irrevocably damaged human tissues. In the world where this game takes place, however, CAS technology has overcome this hurdle and made cryonics a reality. The resuscitation rate is nearly 100%. In fact, you'd be much more likely to die in a plane crash, which means that freezing yourself to visit the future is safer than flying from Tokyo to Milan.
Those are awfully specific places.
Wasn't there in the first game talk about a chemical suddenly freezing? Yeah. That was when they talked about first Alice, all ice, Ice 9, yes. And then later, what was it, nitroglycerin, I think. Cells Alive system. Basically, you freeze and you don't die. We've talked about this. The past two Nonary games we've
also
learned about.
First 18 kids, 9 kids, yeah.
That's the one that was mentioned in the first game. This is the one we played in 999. Esper resonance. In the context of this game, Espers are people with the ability to access the morphogenetic field. An Esper can increase the strength of their signal by being in close proximity to other Espers, assuming they are the strongest. The strongest signal will absorb any weaker ones nearby and use them to amplify its own strength, sort of like waves. The biggest wave adds the amplitude of smaller waves to its own and covers them up. I didn't know they do that.
Basically sucks them up.
Nonary veterans. That's a recap of the people from the first game.
People of the last one, yeah.
Kubota, skittish man, gets blown up.
Like Lotus, attractive programmer.
Ah. Junpei, hero of 999. Neostigmine. That's that drug we found.
Lots of big words. There's the
Ice
9 explanation.
There we go. There we go. Who knows whether that's true or not, but if it is, then she has always keep her body temperature above 36 degrees Celsius.
Shame we never...
Yeah. Oh, the idea of Ice 9 was originally put forth by the American science fiction author Kurt Vonnegut.
Is there a golden file with the scan results of Adam for Alice? What's her body temperature?
That would be a good one, yeah. Hongo, that asshole. Ace. Also, wait, Snake's name is Light.
Also,
yeah. Yeah, they talked about this
the first game
once in 999. Morphogenic field theory. This theory holds that there's a sort of field where the forms, structures, patterns, etc. of everything in reality are stored. This includes abstract things like language, song, thoughts, inspiration, culture, customs, and ideas. Any information contained, transmitted, or created by matter is held in the morphogenetic field. In the Zero Escape series, people who can communicate by accessing this field are known as Espers. If morphogenic field theory is true, however, it would mean that in a sense all humans are Aspers of a sort. This also means that if you can tap into it, you can technically gain the knowledge of every living being. Because everything's in there.
Basically, yeah. If you know how to get the info out, yeah.
Immunoglobulin, we've talked about this. Integer fracturization, that's math.
We can definitely skip that.
A relatively well-known Latin phrase. It might look like it's talking about a pair of sexy toaster waffles, but it actually means something like what you are, I was, what I am, you will be. Sometimes used as an epitaph, the implication is the person in question was once alive, like the reader, but the reader will someday also be dead. A little ominous, I guess. Yeah.
It was totally about toaster waffles.
Soys, we also talked about.
Yep.
Their stated purpose is to maintain peace, but their character or their charter authorizes them to arrest, detain, or even kill. Scary. What if Soys and Free the Soul are the same people? Prisoner's dilemma.
We have gone through that.
I'm
That's
sad.
the whole, do you ally or not? There's
Yeah,
no
but
banana.
there
this
is no
one.
apple and banana. Antimatter bomb. Oh, let's not talk about those again. I'll just think like
They
a
bring
baby.
the baby thing in here.
Detonator. Okay, we've talked about detonators.
That's when it goes off and stuff.
Cybernetic arms. A device originally created to weaponize genetically engineered psychic bears. Just kidding. It's actually an arm augmented for online sex chat. Not really. In truth, it's the arm for a mysterious libido-powered robot. I'm just messing with you. A cybernetic arm is actually a mechanical limb that you can control with your mind. Really, it has titanium alloy for buoyant. For buoyant.
For boys, I think you're still in the wrong bit.
After Psychic Bear's online sex chat libido, it's like... A cybernetic arm is actually a mechanical limb that you can control with your mind. Really? Has a titanium alloy for bones, and those are covered with ABT, artificial biological tissue. The ABT even has artificial nerves, so you can feel pain through it just like a real arm. There's veins that connect to the rest of your body, so if you inject medicine into a cybernetic arm, it will flow to the rest of your body. This one's you.
Some of these are so random. The necklace Luna's never seen without has a cage containing a blue bird hanging from it. If you twist the key on the bottom, it plays music. Someone special gave it to her as a gift, and she says it reminds her of the following lesson. Search for happiness wherever you can, because the search itself is what will make you happy.
That's deep.
How sweet.
The laws of robotics.
We have gone into that.
Oh, there's also a Zero law, which we didn't learn about. Oh, here we go.
0. A robot may not harm humanity or by inaction allow humanity to come to harm. Clearly the 0th law has priority over the first 3, so the first law would have the unwritten addendum, except where this would conflict with the 0th law. Whether or not 016 was aware of this law is unclear, but in any event 016 did act in accordance with it.
Just because she didn't know doesn't mean she wasn't programmed to do so. Swimsuit. For some reason Sigma, or perhaps the author, seems to be unnaturally obsessed with swimsuits. Why is that? Was he involved in a horrible swimsuit accident and now repressed in his youth? Did he have a crush in high school on a girl on the swim team who put her Olympic aspirations ahead of any possible romance? Is he just a perv? The world may never know. Why not all of them? You know?
It's probably all of them.
Password input device. It's a BlackBerry.
Skip that.
It's a BlackBerry. Antimatter reactor.
In a general sense, an antimatter reactor is a system that generates electricity or some other form of power from matter-antimatter reactions. This facility uses hydrogen and anti-hydrogen. The reactions power a turbine which generates energy and powers everything in the facility. It looks like a gigantic octopus, but it's definitely not edible no matter how you cook it.
It's good to know.
Someone tried.
Yeah,
Someone
multiple
tried.
people.
Yeah, we're skipping that.
This is about physics. Although the creation and storage of antimatter is still a difficult obstacle, these results suggest that antimatter reactors could someday be possible. True.
I think we should better stay clear
Or
of
maybe
that.
destroy the world. TNT equivalent. TNT stands for Trinity Tallow. No, Trontitilitrin? No, Trinidad and Tobago? Ah, yes. Trinitrotoluene. That's it.
That rolls off the
It's one of the
tongue.
most common explosives, which is how it came to be a reference point. A kilogram of TNT is 4.814 megajoules of energy, but a kilogram of butter has 30 megajoules. Butter is some dangerous stuff. Yeah, that's what makes you fat, if you eat too much of it. E equals mc squared.
Einstein's famous equation.
It also carries the interesting implication that with enough energy you could theoretically create matter. Wild. 63 terajoules
Yeah, I think we can skip that.
was the calculation for the bombs we found. Floor B graffiti.
Can skip that too.
We learned what that means just recently. Hourglass.
The hourglass displayed in the background is actually a 4-second timer. It doesn't have much practical use except maybe for really impatient people. If you're at a restaurant waiting for your food to come out, for instance. Hey, how long are you going to make me wait? I've already flipped this hourglass 100 times. Technically 100 times would only be 400 seconds, which is 6 minutes and 40 seconds, but saying 100 times is much more dramatic and therefore more likely to get a desirable response from the waitstaff. I would probably make you wait longer.
I would take your hourglass and throw it out. Gentle points. Okay, Tifa, please teach me about gentle points.
These are a measure of how much of a gentleman you are. Somewhere deep in the United Kingdom is an organization that tracks all gentlemen, determining their caliber based off an ancient and Byzantine collection of rules and guidelines. Every year during the spring, a representative of this organization conducts a cursory investigation of each member's behavior, or at least appears to, and then awards gentle points based on what they saw. The following formula is used. Old ladies escorted across the street, times top hats owned, times puzzle solved, times money given to gentleman tracking organization is total gentle points.
I think the last part is the most important one.
Yeah.
You know, the giving money to them.
That probably counts for more.
Okay, I'm just gonna say it. The one who mentioned gentle points was Dio, so... Guys, I think this is a scam. Yeah.
Wait, did Dio actually mention the gentleman points? I don't
Yes,
remember. Did he?
Yeah.
Okay.
When somebody comes knocking at your door and asks you to kindly donate to a charity that awards gentle points, it's a scam. Knife! Oh look,
And skip that.
the numbers. Floor B hallway locks.
These golden files are a scam.
We've learned about these as well.
Feeling tricked.
Principle of causality. The law of cause and effect. Specifically that a cause must precede every effect. At quantum level, however, things aren't quite as immutable. The principle of quantum superposition holds that any physical system, such as an electron, exists at least partially in all of its theoretical states or configurations, but when measured gives a result corresponding to only one of them. That's the thing where you need to see it to see what it does. A classic example of this is the double slit experiment, where light appears to behave as both a wave and a particle. One of the interesting implications of this is that, in a sense, you are influencing the past. By observing a system, you are defining the cause of an effect you witness, and in a way, altering the past. Normally I'd comment that there would be quantum level. Normally I would comment here that the quantum level is where shit gets real. But given the nature of this phenomenon, it seems like it would be more accurate to say that the quantum level is where shit gets unreal. That's deep.
Ronald Knox.
This is one that was mentioned but never explained.
A mystery writer from the UK published the following as his rules for writing a mystery novel. Oh, I think you guys mentioned that in chat.
True.
The criminal must be mentioned early on. All supernatural or preternatural agencies are ruled out. No more than one secret room or passage.
True, otherwise that gets old. Yeah.
Makes sense. No hitherto?
Hitherto.
What's that?
Up until this point.
Okay. Undiscovered poisons may be used, nor any appliance which will need a long scientific explanation.
Basically, just don't pull them out of your ass.
So everything in this game.
Like, oh, yes. Radical 6. Yes.
No one with extra sensory perception or similar powers can appear. No accidents must ever help the detective, nor must he ever have an unaccountable intuition which proves to be right. So basically everything you do. The detective must not commit the crime. The detective must declare any clues he may discover. The stupid friend of the detective, the Watson, must conceal nothing from the reader. Twin brothers and doubles generally must not appear unannounced.
So effectively, the game set out to break all 10 rules. Yeah, I love that. I mean, just because somebody wrote down, hey, it's good if you don't do these, doesn't mean you have to. You know?
They absolutely just went with it.
Exactly.
That's the star keys.
Those are the keys. We found those. We do know what a slingshot is, but an elementary device that uses a rubber to launch a small projectile, frequently used by adolescent ne'er-do-wells. Can be used as a necklace, but that is not recommended.
Could be nice.
Test site mystery. The cited question was for a simulated manned mission to Mars, held in the Nevada desert. On New Year's Eve 2028, the audio logs from the simulation contained a woman's voice, assumed to be one of the test subjects, saying the following: 6 of us are dead. Counting myself, there are only 3 left. I guess you could say I killed them. No, that's not quite right. Not just them. Not just these 6. All of them. All 6 billion. Most evidence seems to suggest that this was the beginning of a Radical 6 outbreak. The Nevada facility was the epicenter of a pandemic.
Well, there you go.
Termites. A general term used to refer to the insects in the epifamily of Termitoideae of a cockroach Autoblatodidae. That's right! Even though they are sometimes called white ants, termites aren't even in the same family as ants, and the cockroach family instead. Also, king crabs on the hermit crab order and the remoras in the Perciformis order.
Are termites white?
I don't know.
Why are they called white ants? I don't think they're even white.
Have a nice trouble. We know these. Conjunction.
Can skip that.
It's when... yeah, that stuff. 10 Miyuji's picture. That's the one we checked back when. It's a picture of Akane.
Yeah. And some of the history. We got that.
He must have shown up here because he'd heard what sort of destiny she had in store. Yes, he did.
Basically. A way of... what was this?
Minkowski space.
A way of describing reality that adds a 4th dimension of time to the 3 dimensions of space. It was described by German mathematician Hermann
Minkowski.
That person.
Probably.
And therefore bears his name. It's also the name of a ski resort for miniature cows.
Yeah, Minkowski.
That's kind of cute, actually.
Yes!
They used the picture!
The picture comes back.
Scientific name for the order to which rabbits belong. How cute.
10 Miyuji and Alice. When they were split up at the red, blue and green chromatic door, 10 Miyuji told Alice that there was something he had to tell her. That something was of course his identity and that he already knew all about Alice and Ice 9 and not because he'd heard about it from Clover. Exactly, it's important. And with Clover, after the second round of the AB game, after going through to the purple and green doors, Clover, as a solo, was heard to say the following to Miyuji, her opponent. What fact did you mean by all of that? It's not fair. If you're telling the truth, then So what did 10 Miyuji say to her? The same thing he'd meant to say to Alice, and of course, he told her who he was. That simple fact shook Clover's resolve and made her vote ally. Probably hadn't been his original intention to betray her, but after thinking about Quark's safety, he probably felt he had no choice and picked to betray. Why would Junpei know about Ice 9 and Alice?
Well, he was in the first game.
Because that's what happened in the first game. That happens, at least when we played, was near the beginning actually. When you're stuck in the freezer with Santa and Clover.
No, was that in the freezer part? I think that was in one of the rooms with one of the people.
Oh wait, no, you were 4 people. Yeah, Clover and Santa are in the freezer with you, and Alice is outside. Oh, not Alice.
No, the freezer wasn't
Lotus.
where we talked about that. The first time we actually heard it was when we went with Akane into one of the rooms. Because there was a bet and stuff in it, and then she went into this whole Titanic conspiracy. And that's when you first learned about Ice 9 and stuff.
A can stand for after and B before, but they can also stand for anima and body. Good thing we learned that. The mystery of Phi. So, who was Phi? There are a few clues scattered throughout the story, but nothing conclusive. Perhaps the truth will be revealed at the Nevada test site.
So the last game is probably gonna be all about Phi, as in main character Phi.
Here's a little something more about the bomb deactivation passwords. Those passwords, they aren't just gibberish. There's something hidden in each one. Can give you one hint. +1. Good luck. There's a lot more to the story, but I think we'll stop the secret archives here. Thank you for playing, and we hope you enjoyed the game.
+1. Oh, sorry.
So, I forgot they took all the previous cast to Soys. Yes, they did.
That too, but it makes sense that Junpei knew about them. Like, there were a lot of discussions about that in the first game.
Yes. Tifa, how did you like Virtue's Last Reward?
It was interesting. I was hoping to get a few more closures towards the end. We didn't, but it was definitely a fun ride. I'm glad we did the games, like, we streamed it all after another, didn't put another game in between there, because this was confusing enough as it was, without the extra time in between.
Yeah.
The next time we played.
Yep. I liked it a lot. I liked the puzzles better in this game. Except for the 10-gram puzzle, that was horseshit. That was bullshit. No, I really liked it.
The puzzles were fun with like 1 or 2 exceptions.
Yeah.
But can't be all that fun.
Very little. I hate the fact that now I need to play the third one. I just want them to be self-contained stories.
There's too much
That's
stuff
so
to
much
remember.
to ask, I guess.
I believe the last game is gonna be even worse, because I've heard there's like 30 endings in the last one.
I have
36?
no idea. I will bother with that when it's time to play that one.
There's a lot of endings from what we've been told, so it could be even more confusing, but I really hope we're gonna get like closure.
Yeah. Want me to tell you what the bomb passwords mean, or do you want to try a guess on your own? Tell us. There's no way we'll figure it out.
Have a quick peek at them. It said +1, right?
So,
Wait, don't press enter yet. +1. Add 1 letter of the alphabet to
what comes after
each
Q?
letter. I don't know.
So BQZ, C, my brother, Crash Keys, Free Soul, Myrmidons.
Okay, yeah, what I said wouldn't have actually
Yeah, no,
done
clearly
it.
that's what I wanted to say. Yeah.
So what does the +1 mean? What does it do?
Oh yeah. You check the letter after the one that's the bomb password. Like B becomes C,
so I
Q
was
becomes
right.
R. Yeah.
But I don't see how that would have turned.
Z becomes A, C R A S H K E Y S.
Oh, I was checking bomb 1 and I was like, my brother. I'm like, okay, B, Q, Z, that doesn't work.
Send before you set, don't press enter, sir.
Yeah,
It's fine. Don't
worry about it.
We told you to do it and then told you to wait. It's on us.
Yeah. And I actually solved it before you pressed enter. I'll take it.
Yes. Now what do you get if you +1 jumpy ball? Gibberish is what.
But yeah, I had a lot of fun with the game. I even got over the whole art style. Still prefer the one from 999.
I am so angry we didn't get an ending.
After all that, you're still left with all of these answers, and it's like, or all of these questions. Like, having a few answered would be nice.
We got just enough answers to make us play Zero Time Dilemma. Yeah. Steins Gate next. No.
We
We already know what we're gonna play next.
A game next,
And
which...
I can tell you... Wait, I put... Where did I put the things for it? I can tell you that yesterday I did a quick playtest with Tifa to see if it would work, and it looks like it did. And so today
If it's gonna
Had
last
to.
until our vacation, we don't know yet, but...
I already set it up, you don't see this, it's next to the camera, but I needed this, that's tape, and I figured how to
Just say the name.
make this thing work. No, I will not tell you.
Just
What
say
game
the
do you
name.
play on the next stream? It's a surprise. Don't say I want to be surprised. Thank you, Psycho. Thank you, you understand me. Mario Wonder? No.
Can you at least say the console?
Didn't need tape for that. No.
Well, there you
It's
have it.
not a November game yet, but it kind of goes in that direction, I can tell you that much. It's something where if it wouldn't happen in a video game, most of you would run away screaming if you witnessed it.
It's also not a new game.
Yes.
I can already say that.
But I can tell you, I needed tape, I needed this wonderful device. I needed to buy something off of eBay. Yeah.
Jack is the fun police.
I'm German.
He's German,
It's-
what did you
It's in my
expect?
DNA. Like, yeah, I am. That's true.
But yeah, maybe, we don't really know yet. That will keep us busy until our vacation. And then after, we have at least one game lined up.
Yeah,
And then we'll see how long we'll spend on that.
exactly.
Or 2 games. I
It's
don't
gonna
even
be a
recall.
surprise. You will see. I need to go to the toilet. I need to go sleep. Tifa, do you have any more nuggets of wisdom?
No, you did really well
Of what?
with all your predictions.
I think so too.
If I look, you are definitely the winner of this game. Like, I'm gonna count this and post it.
I shall wear my crown with pride and remind everybody that once again, first of all, just because you feel paranoid doesn't mean that they aren't after you. No. But also, if, like me, you keep talking and you keep coming up with stuff, eventually some of them are going to turn out to be true.
I mean, that's a valid strategy, apparently.
Yeah, I agree.
CTD playtime for Eevee was 17.4 hours.
Okay, so I'm guessing with us it's going to be like 80 to 100.
How long did we spend on Virtue's Last Reward? 92 it was.
93-ish.
Okay, well...
Yeah. Yeah, I imagine it will be the same for us.
Gonna take a short break from these games, but we will definitely go back for the last one.
First surprise game.
But seeing how Jack needs to go to the bathroom, we're gonna call it a night here, and we will see you all on Tuesday with a new game.
Exactly. Thank you everybody for getting through all of this game with us. We'll see you on Tuesday with the game I haven't told you yet. Bye!
Bye!
Thank you.